What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about everything happening to Bungie is because of greed. This comes from article 1GP. We're also going to talk about Xbox May update, retro classics come to Xbox Game Pass, PC gaming updates, and more. So we'll talk about that. And then we're going to watch a video from Mr. Matty Plays talking about, so I previewed Mindseye early. And he gives his thoughts on the thing. So we brought up Mindseye a couple of weeks ago. Travis has been talking it up. To me, something feels off about this game. Something feels off, so I'm looking for anything. We kind of talked a little bit last night when we were playing Roadcrafter over on 30 and Still Gaming, that maybe they don't have the money or budgeting to promote the game early. And that's why we haven't heard a lot. But usually when you don't see any kind of marketing happening to a game, there's just something about it that feels off. So we're going to watch his. He has a preview of it, so we'll get more info on that. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do appreciate very much for coming out every single morning. We're just here a couple hours a day just to help you through your day, get you through your day, entertain you a couple hours of the day. So appreciate you very much. All right, what's going on, chat? Let's see who's here. Eclipse, good morning. Travis, good morning. Big Mo, good morning. Sarge, Wonder Rose, Water Bear, Roic, good morning. How's everyone doing? I don't think I missed anybody. Anybody else here comes in, I'll say hi to you. What's going on, Krebsy? All right, let's start off with the Xbox stuff. So this came out yesterday. Xbox May update, retro classics come to Xbox Game Pass, PC gaming updates, and more. I talked about this when they were still in talks to buy Activision a couple years ago. I said that they'll probably release all the classic Activision games and put it on Game Pass because obviously I'm saying I'm psychic or anything like that. What I'm saying is it just makes sense. It's a whole bunch of games that they can put value. A lot of people like to collect old games and whatnot, right? Like I still have my original copy of Pitfall from the Atari 2600, right? So there's a lot of games on here. So they added a whole bunch of retro classics available that are on Game Pass now. So it says a variety of new updates are available this month across our gaming platforms. Coming today, retro classic games are available to play on Xbox Game Pass members. Players who stream on Xbox app on PC now have additional streaming options with GeForce Now. Game Bar introduces a quick setting, visual updates for widgets in compact mode, and also coming soon, Microsoft Edge Game Assist in an in-game browser that brings up immersive game-centric experiences to Edge. Okay. It says the Xbox gift cards can now be redeemed for any amount of VI Xbox rewards. Read more about this and the other exciting updates below. So announcing retro classics available for Game Pass members. So there's a bunch of different games coming out. It says we're thrilled to announce that launch of Retro Classics, a collaboration between Xbox and Antstream Arcade, available to play for Game Pass members globally starting today, which was yesterday. Game Pass members can dive into a collection of 50-plus classic Activision games from the 80s, 90s, including beloved like Commando, Grand Prix, Kaboom, Mech Warrior 2, and the 31st Century Combat and Pitfall. Okay, it says the initiative is to step in our commitment to game preservation and backwards compatibility, allowing players to experience many timeless games on modern devices, right? I look at this and I'm like, I'm not going to play 99.9% of those, right? Like I'm playing MLB The Show. I'm not going back to play baseball, right? I'm not going to go and play. Would it be cool to, play Breakout or Chopper Commander for about 30 seconds? Sure. I totally get it. They have the brochure. They have the whole IPs of all of this that they bought for $69 billion. So you're goddamn right. They're going to take these and put them on Game Pass. More value putting out there. Value is, subjective for a person. Like someone might look at this and go, I'm not going to play any of these, but it's cool that they have them there, preservation. And that's a big talking point as well, right? A lot of games, they just take away from you. Here's Xbox putting more games that have been away for decades that they're putting out there so you can play them. And it's part of your already thing that you're paying for. If you're paying for Game Pass, here's more things for you to have on Game Pass. It says, with Retro Classics, Game Pass members can expect seamless gaming experience across console, PC, and on support devices with cloud gaming, whether playing on the Xbox console, the Xbox app, or on PC, or streaming on the supported LG, Samsung Smart TVs, Amazon Fire Stick, TV devices, and MetaQuest headsets. Retro Classics offers a versatile and accessible way to enjoy the nostalgic titles. You know what I just realized? It would just be easier, instead of naming all the things that you can play it on, just name what you can't play it on. Play it on everything except, and then just say Switch and PlayStation. It would go a lot easier for you. Retro Classic offers a versatile accessibility way to enjoy the nostalgic titles. Game Pass members can also access Retro Classics through their Game Pass membership by searching and installing the features via the console or on the Xbox app on PC. Additionally, players can also take on friends, rivals, an entire world of unique challenges. For the achievement hunters, there's also some great new ones to collect. And the newer players are ability to save and reload your progress and the first in many classic titles. All right, so there you go. So you have the whole thing, and they added where you can compete in like tournaments and whatnot. So I think that's pretty cool. It says this launch is also just the beginning. Game Pass members can now look forward to discovering additional games added from Activision and Blizzard, expanding the Retro Classic collection and more than 100+ titles over time. Okay, so they're going to keep adding more to that. As far as PC gaming, the game bar updates quick settings and widgets, so more stuff for you on the PC side. To further enhance the gameplay experience with the game bar, we revamped the settings widget and quick settings to continue visual updates and remind the inbox widgets. A new quick setting and accessible both compact mode and desktop mode across all windows and devices. Upon opening the settings and widgets, players can also now swiftly access a list of quick settings that allow them to adjust the audio levels, screen brightness, and now also virtual keyboard. So quality of life stuff there. Game bar updates, Microsoft Edge Game Assist. Not really too sure what this is. It says Microsoft Edge Game Assist is coming soon. At the first in-game browser built specifically for players, Game Assist brings players in a full browser along with tips, walkthroughs, playlists, and a site like Discord, Spotify, and Twitch right into their game. Players can also use the Windows plus G shortcut to open up this experience in Game Bar at any time during a gameplay session. As Game Assist also seamlessly connects to the Edge browser, players will also have instant access to their favorite passwords, histories, and more, ensuring that everything you need is always within reach and keeping. I hate using Edge, I'll be honest with you. Hate using Edge, but I guess that's cool for the people that use Edge. GeForce Now update. Xbox players can now have an additional option in the Xbox app on PC for playing via the cloud gaming, providing even greater flexibility in how they play. GeForce Now has been added to the availability option for PC gaming and participating titles, allowing players to choose the preferred streaming platform for gameplay. If a game is available on GeForce Now, players will also see a pop-up when it's in play button to product page, and which also they can select to prefer cloud gaming options. This right here should show you that Xbox is not just trying to get you. You could play it cloud through them, but if you want to play through GeForce Now, they're like, yeah, go ahead. It doesn't matter where you play as long as you're playing our games. Xbox rewards with Xbox gift cards at custom amounts now available. So now you don't have to buy the predetermined prices. You can just put the amount of price that you want on there as well. And then it says stream your own games over 100+ games, right? So we're continuing to add more games to stream your own game collection. And your Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta, the Game Pass Ultimate members can stream up to a library of 100+ cloud playable game support devices. So you got Armor Reforged, Deliver at All Costs, Monster Energy, Supercross, Project Wingman, Ride 5, Roadcraft. So basically, Roadcraft's brand new game, right? Armor Reforged, Deliver at All Costs is a brand new game. I can play this now through, because I own it, I can just, stream it through the cloud, which is nice. Okay. Coming soon, Anno 1800, Disney Illusion Island, Hello Neighbor, Just Dance, Life is Strange, True Colors, Monopoly, Skull and Bones, Sunderfolk, and Watchdog Legions. If you guys don't know what Sunderfolk is, that's the RPG board game, basically. It's a tabletop game that's on the where you can play up to 4 people through your phone and stuff. It's pretty cool. So now Xbox Play Anywhere. Buy once, play anywhere. Xbox Play Anywhere. With over 1,000 games now supporting on Xbox Play Anywhere, players can seamlessly switch between PC, Xbox console, and supported handhelds at no additional cost, bringing even more value to our Xbox players. Progress including saves, game add-ons, achievements, and carried over wherever the game is played. Simply log into your Xbox account at any device and continue playing from where you left off. That's huge, I'll be honest. That's a huge thing. Hopefully more gaming companies do this. 70-plus games have been released with the feature so far in 2025 in April, and these games came out in the Xbox Play Anywhere. So you can see the list there. Doesn't matter where, you can play them. Crossover. And if you missed it, accessories, there's the Doom controller, the Doom skin. That's pretty cool. I'm not a big Doom fan, the new Doom fan, but that's pretty cool. And I think that's it. Yeah, so lots of stuff. So if you're an Xbox person, there you go. You can play some tournaments with the old stuff, achievements, UI fixes, more games added to play anywhere, more games added to where you, if you buy it, then you can play. You can choose to play on GeForce Now. So look, more places for more people. Real quick, we'll cut from that to yesterday. I think Dolphin posted inside our Discord. Let me see, and he had this sales chart. And I'm bringing this up because there's so many people, and again, I don't care where I play on games. I just play games. Was this yesterday? Where'd you post that, Dolphin? Oh, I see it. It's coming up. Dolphin posted it. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Okay, here it is. Let me open this in a new tab. All right. So everyone always likes to say that the sky's falling and, basically, Microsoft is dead. Xbox is dead. They're not doing anything. No one's buying their games. No one's selling their games. This is April 2025, U.S. top 25 best-selling games, physical and full game digital from Nintendo eShop, PlayStation. Now, I don't know what the sales are. What I'm showing you here is where these games are. These are the top 20 games of physical game sales, okay? And number 1 on this list is the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster. Number 2 is Forza Horizon 5, okay? This is a brand new one in April. This was ranked 42 last month, and now it's ranked 2nd overall, okay? I don't think a lot of Xbox players are buying Forza Horizon 5 years into the cycle. I would assume this is a lot of PlayStation, right? MLB The Show's up there because it's baseball season, right? So, and then Minecraft is number 4. It was 11th, okay? It was 11th, and now it's 4th. Then you skip Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is Ubisoft, and then you have Indiana Jones: The Great Circle, which is also Microsoft, and then you have Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is also Microsoft. So I don't know why it has multiple video game manufacturers here. Minecraft's owned by Microsoft as well. So in the top 6 positions, you have 5 games out of the top 6 positions, right? Oblivion, Horizon, Minecraft, Indiana Jones, or the 7, and Black Ops. So you have 5 games in the top 7. Then you have Take-Two Interactive's got a couple of spots there. Sony's got the one with MLB The Show. But not a lot of Sony games last month, right? Still waiting there. Take-Two, who basically just rinse and repeats WWE, NBA, PGA Tour, same shit over and over, right? And then they have Grand Theft Auto 5, which is still on the list, and Red Dead Redemption 2, which has been on the list for God knows how long. And then you have Elder Scrolls Online down here at the 17th position for Microsoft as well. Okay? So lots of Microsoft up there for no one supporting Microsoft, and Microsoft is done. I don't know. Just thought maybe they just want to sell games. Maybe they're just selling games. What's going on, Kylo? What's going on, Robert Jones? All right, let's scroll back up here and see what you guys are saying. Farbear says Commando. Oh my God, that brings back memories. Yeah, I'm not going to go back and play a lot of these games. Like I have no. Maybe I play Pitfall and go, let me see what I can do in Pitfall, and then 5 seconds later go, I'm done with Pitfall. Let's see here. Dolphin says, holy shit, that's funny. Sony just canceled the ability to redeem gift cards, and Microsoft does the opposite in the same day. Oh, did they? Sony just canceled redeem gift cards? Interesting. Oh, Jason says they canceled the Stars program, Dolphin, not the gift cards. Okay. See? This is why we read. Why is my camera... My camera's a little too bright. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. Eclipse is exactly, to me, that just shows that they want to preserve stuff, and that's awesome. I heard news that might be fake news, that they might also put Xbox emulator on PC, which is great. Interesting. Water says 30. At one point, we thought all of these game graphics were peak. Just remember that. Now it hurts the eyes to play more than 30 minutes. Yeah, I can't do it. Personally, it is brutal to go back and play some of these games. I don't care how graphically intense you can upgrade Pitfall or whatnot. I'm just like, short amounts of stuff. It's not because of the graphics. It's just that I played this so many times back in the day, and why would I go back to shittier things? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going back to a car that has roll-up windows. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have power windows now and, like, heated seats in my car. I ain't going back to roll-down windows. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking to upgrade. I'm not looking to downgrade. Microsoft doesn't care if you play it on a PlayStation at this point. They're still getting paid. Give it a few years, and they will also do the same thing. I don't even say a few years. It's already happening, right? Obviously, they're not putting their game. Well, I mean, they are. MLB The Show is on Xbox. And guess what? They made more money there. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it because then they show, oh, see, we're right. But they're going to do it. Everyone's going to do it. Kyle says Oblivion Remastered sold more in 1 month than the original in 15 months. See that? Sarge says physical. Yep, physical. Dolphin says I posted it because of kind of funny news that they had a primary PlayStation guy saying that the Xbox strategy is finally working with it, and I thought it was cool. Roic says, sorry, I meant to human. That game was cool. Oh, I got what you're saying. The human one. I read. I choose not to. So, look, I think it's cool. But even my son, I said, hey, they have old games. He's like, okay. He doesn't care. I think it might be a fun thing to try out and stuff like that. Here's what I look at. When I look at Pitfall and Breakout and Firefighter and all this other stuff, those to me are what mobile is today. Does that make sense? Like, when I think about Keystone Capers or Maze Craze, those are mobile games now. And mobile games now are 1,000 times better than the games that we played back in the day that they're now putting on there. So people look at this and go, who gives a shit? I don't care about these retro classics. But at the same time, this is a good step for people going, yeah, they're preserved games. Now, obviously, a lot of people don't own the old games. And if you want to play these, you have to be a paid member of Game Pass, not a Ultimate member, just a Game Pass member. They're trying to bring in the value of Game Pass, and maybe you're an old timer. Maybe you remember these things, nostalgia berries. Maybe you're just like, you don't even care about any of this stuff, but you look at it and go, oh, well, $10 a month, I get these 100 games or these 50 games for right now. I get 1,000 games that I can, if I purchase games, I can play them anywhere type of stuff. I have access to other games for the cloud. So it just makes the value. That way, when they raise the price, they can be like, well, see, this is why we're raising the price. We have over 1,000 games on there. Sarge says, you look at these games and you just see where we came from. Sure. It all started with boop, 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 fucking Pong. Dolphin says, makes complete sense. I just spent $150 on Nintendo DS on eBay, and games used to be 6 hours. What's going on, Roadkill? Sarge says they're just trying to establish value. Right, they're trying to show you value. Why am I paying $10? Why am I paying $12? Why am I paying my $20? Well, you're paying this because here's what we got. They're kind of just front-loading the stuff. Like, think about all the games, because now they have the retros, 80s and 90s. Wait till they start putting other games on there, and they put them like into like retro where it's like the early 2000s and whatnot, or the late 90s, where it's not the Atari old games, but it's the the next generation, like PlayStation 1 graphic type of stuff, or wait till they just start doing that. Eclipse says the only thing I could see not doing it is Nintendo. And that's just because the games don't cost any money to make, but the company like PlayStation has probably spent $200 million on games, and they want the money. Sure, well, Nintendo already has this, right? They already have this for the Switch, right? You can get the classic games from NES, classic games from N64, classic games from Super NES, GameCube now. Again, they're just trying to make value. If you like those games over on Nintendo, you got to pay $50 for the year. Right? That value is not there yet. That's why they charge $50 a year and not $12 a month. All right, the next story we're going to go with. Is comes from 1GP. All the links in the description down below. Everything happening to Bungie for the main stories, right? So everything happening to Bungie is because of greed. Ex-employees hope studio gets consolidated into Sony. Say that's the path forward. I mean, even the old guard wants it gone, right? So if you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a subscriber. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay, so everything happening to Bungie is becoming greed. Is because of greed. Ex-employees hope the studio is consolidated into Sony. Say that's the path forward. So former Bungie employee, I was going to say Bungie. From former Bungie employees speak out to the new report blaming greed and leadership for the studio's troubles and say full Sony consolidation is the best way forward. It's been a turbulent time for Bungie, the studio known for Halo, Destiny, and plagiarism. Upcoming Marathon reboot is the last couple of weeks, as the company has also been centered controversy, starting with a serious art theft allegation. Again, it's not an allegation; it's literally proven. Okay, Bungie actually admitted to using the artwork in Marathon without permission. So how can we say art theft allegations and then say in the next sentence, 2 words later, admitted to using artwork? Right? And promised to review all of its game assets. I feel like this is a scenario, you know, when you get like a speeding ticket, you tell the cop, I'm never going to speed again. Thank you, officer. I'm so sorry. Okay. And then you speed off about, 30 seconds later. Like, I just feel like they admitted using artwork in Marathon without permission, but it's just art theft allegations. And they promised to review all of its game assets. Isn't that nice of you? Shortly after the developer live stream last week, the new reports started surfacing, which painted a pretty bleak picture inside the company. It says ex-Bungie dev says Marathon leadership was extremely toxic and humiliating to work with. Bungie leadership needs to be gutted completely. I have a question. I don't know who these people are because they never come out and say who they are. But it's really interesting to me that they stay quiet when they're getting paid. They don't want to say anything. Right? They don't want to say anything while they're there, and they're being paid probably pretty good to be a developer, right? I would assume. They don't say anything, but then they leave, right? Then they leave, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, it was miserable there. It was very toxic. How long did you work there? Oh, I worked there for 5 years. Right? Like, it was very toxic, but, they paid me every week, so I just dealt with it. But all of a sudden, now they have a new job, and they're like, I heard that was really toxic there, right? I would love to know more details about these people that are saying that they worked there and how long they worked there. Because I'll be honest with you, someone that worked there for 7 years saying it was toxic and someone that worked there for 7 months saying it's toxic, 2 different contexts, right? Because someone that worked there 7 years, I feel like knows a lot of shit that's going on, and the person that's been there for 7 months or 7 weeks really doesn't know anything. And they're not as thick-skinned, so they would say like, oh, yeah, it's real toxic. They said hi to me only 3 days a week, right? Like type of stuff like that. So I would like to know how these people that report that it was toxic, how long they were there for. Everything's happening to Bungie because of greed. Well, I can agree with that. New information from the content creator and reporter Destin Laguirre says Save State Plus, who says that he spoke directly to multiple former Bungie employees, paints as an even bleaker picture. According to a report, former Bungie staff described the work environment where leadership seemed less interested in creativity and more focused on profits and control. I mean, I think we saw this. I actually mentioned this a little bit because Sony didn't buy Bungie, right? Sony bought stock in Bungie, and the people that own the stock, they paid $3.6 billion, and they bought the stock from the people that had the stock because it's not a publicly traded company, right? They didn't pay it all up front. They're by the, right? And then people at higher up in the company that had the most stock were being fired or being let go in the beginning. Why? Because they own the most stock, right? So they bought them out. So Sony started getting more shares and whatnot. So that's how Sony's deal worked. They didn't pay $3.6 billion to Bungie. They paid, I think it was like $2 billion in stock options and whatnot, if I'm not mistaken. So because they wanted to force, more profits and control. Okay. So one ex-employee bluntly stated, quote, "Everything's happening to Bungie because of greed." Another added, quote, "I hope they got consolidated into Sony. That's the best path forward." These comments reflect growing sentiment that the leadership decisions have pushed the studio into a corner. It sounds like Pete Parson, good old. Do we have? I don't think I have Pete Carson's on the track here. I don't. But Pete Parson, where he's basically, or Pete Parson, right? Bought a lot of cars, man. Bought a lot of cars with those a lot of stock options and stuff that he has. Upper management's got to go. You got to gut the entire company, right? You got to take out from the top to the bottom. You can't leave any remnants of the old guard, okay? Or as they said the other day, the good old boys, right? You got to gut that company completely, which I think Sony's doing already. This is why they took a bunch of people and moved them over to another studio. And now a lot of people are going to be leaving Bungie when Marathon's done. In 2026, a lot of their contracts are up and gone. A lot of people are going to be leaving. So I think what Sony's doing right now is this is exactly why I think Marathon's going to come out and not get delayed. Okay? So Bungie's staff is on contract until Marathon comes out. Well, if Marathon doesn't come out until next year, they got to keep those people on staff. Well, the highest ones on staff that are leaving in 2026, they probably have the most stocks. Well, Sony wants their stocks because every time an upper staff member leaves, they pay them out, they get their stocks, and Sony gets more control. Okay? So that's what I think is going to happen. I think that's why Marathon's going to come out. That way, upper management can get out. Sony can push them out. Then you have the upper management or the people under contract that leave, and then you have to gut everybody else because you can't have the reminiscence of any kind of someone that thinks the same way as the other person. You got to start brand new, and that's usually what happens when you buy out a company, okay? So the internal culture, according to these sources, have defined by fear and favoritism, and this is exactly why you have to gut it out completely, okay? Legary called it a cool kids club, where you either agree with the leadership or you put on a list. Wow, that's called blacklisting, okay? That's called blacklisting. This happens all the time. Nepotism or whatever not. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, right? Like if I come into a studio, I'm going to bring in the people that I'm comfortable with. So I'm going to hire friends, all right? I'm going to hire people that I've worked with in the past that I trust, okay? So it would be a gatekeep. It would be a cool kids club. It would be, put on a list of like, he doesn't think the same way or she doesn't think the same way as me. We can't hire her in that position because she's going to push us back. And if she pushes us back or he pushes us back, then our job is going to be harder. So we can't do it that way, right? And then people that have been with the company, maybe brand new, they have ideas, but they're not being heard. They're like, it's very toxic. Hence why I go back to what I said before. I want to know the people that say it's toxic if they've been there for years or months. There's a complete difference, right? How old are they? How long they've been there? So it's also, you put on berated publicly and also told your ideas didn't matter, okay? One ex-employee said, if they didn't think of it, it wasn't worth doing. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I totally understand because I've been in situations like this before. Monetization pressures, right? Let me tell a little story about that, right? So if I have ideas, I'm brand new on a production. I'm brand new with a studio. Productions are a little different because you're brand new every time. Everyone's new on the production. because the production's new. And again, I'm going from a film perspective, a television perspective. But if I worked for a studio job, let's say I got a job in studio and I'm working, let's say, for WWE, okay? I'm brand new, okay? I've been in the business for, let's say, 5 years. I'm brand new with this company, and everybody else on the staff's been there for a decade plus. But I'm a new guy because the only way you get in is if someone retires or dies, okay? And I get in there, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, what about if we do this? What about if we do that? Everybody else that's been there for that long is going to look at me and go, who's this guy with his ideas? Like, shut up and sit down. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I could take that as, well, they're not listening to me, they're not respecting me. Or I could look at that and go, well, I'm the new guy. Maybe I should settle in first and get to know people before I start spitting off stuff, okay? Because I'm not in a position of upper management. Now, it's different if I got hired as a higher tier position than the people that have been there for that many years. They might not respect me because I haven't earned their respect yet. But at least if I'm higher up than them, then I can give my ideas, right? Sometimes it doesn't matter what you say because you might not be in a position where people care what you have to say. Monetization pressures were also a recurring theme. One former dev shared that the team was scolded over revenue concerns, even discussing whether or not the glow on the Trials of Osiris armor was too attractive because it might hurt Destiny 2's Eververse sales. And this is exactly, I'm glad that someone said this out loud. This is exactly what we talked about for so many years with Destiny. I said, why would they make our armor cool looking inside the game if they can make the armor that they sold in the Eververse store much cooler? Because if I have cool armor from the game, I'm never going to buy something from the Eververse store because they want to make sales. So here it is. One former dev scolded over revenue concerns, even discussing whether the glow on Trials of Osiris armor was too attractive because it might hurt Destiny 2's Eververse store. Okay? The suggestion of the Destiny subscription was also floated in meetings. Of course it was. Of course it was. Not only would they charge you talked about that they would charge you a monthly fee, but they would charge for the cosmetics. They would charge you for battle passes and dungeons and all this other stuff. Amazing. Okay? But it was rejected by the staff. According to several ex-employees, it all added up to the culture where games weren't about players anymore. They were just about products. And players weren't simply players were simply customers. Okay? Internal languages shifted from studio games and players to company and product and consumers. During Sony acquisition, one former employee said, it says, quote, the solution lies in holding leadership accountable. I practice what I preach. I've said this multiple times, not just for Bungie, for any company that has problems internally. I'm like, you got to look at upper management. Upper management are the ones that make the problems and solve the problems. Okay, the report also mentions a few good leaders at Bungie by name, like Jason Jones, who also been sabbatical, Eric Osborne, said to have gotten a bad ending, and Lewis Village's former Bungie CTO, who transitioned to Sony last year, and former Destiny 2 game director Joe Blackburn describes as someone who deeply cared. Great. You know what this means? You don't name the people that don't do it, but you name the people that did good. That means everybody else they didn't name, probably on the list that you shouldn't hire, probably on the list that you should fire, probably on the list that you should gut out of the company. Because if their name's not Jason Jones or Eric Osborne or Joe Blackburn, all right, or Blackburn, okay, then those people should probably get the boot. One former employee said, it makes me sad to know there are so many talented people that make great things, but they're still answering to management that also can't stop shooting themselves in the foot. They made bad decisions after bad decisions. It's not even surprising when it's a new story breaks. Another said, I just want devs to be okay. I wonder if the upper management is like, you know what? It's less of a headache, minimal viable product, less of a headache, just do the bare minimum and get our paycheck like Pete Carson, and not worry about it. Do you know what I mean? Who knows? It says here, at the end of the day, most people Destin spoke to just want things to get better. Well, of course they do. Okay, for Bungie, especially for the devs still working there. What do you think? Is it time for Sony to take full control of Bungie? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, I think Sony's going to automatically do this. There is a small possibility here. Hear me out here. Okay, there is a small, I don't think it's going to happen, but there's still a small freaking chance that this happens. What if the scenario that happens, chat, that Bungie got out of its way or got out of the deal with Microsoft, sold Halo off, went off, had this Destiny thing in their back pocket, okay? And then they made Destiny. Then they sold themselves to Activision, right? Activision was going to take control of Destiny, but then they purchased Destiny back from Activision, okay? And now they went on their own, and now they signed with Sony. Now, Sony has the deal where they paid $3.6 billion for it, and now Bungie's fucking up so bad that Sony's going to gut them. But at the same time, they removed the people and started their own entity within the Sony company itself. There's a small possible chance, okay? They would have to, the moon and the earth would have to shift and move. But Bungie could get out of this. They would have nothing left. I don't know what they have working in behind the scenes. But Bungie could get away from Sony, where Sony paid and they own stock, right? And they have their studio that they've made from the developers over there to make a game. But Bungie could get away from Sony and be independent yet again. Can you imagine? If this happens, I will laugh my ass off. I don't think it's going to happen because there's a lot that has to happen for that to happen. Lots of money, because they would want more money than they paid for. And Bungie's not worth the $3.6 billion, so they're definitely not worth more than that. But it'd be very interesting to see this happen if it does. But what do you think? What do you think about Bungie? Do you think they need to be gutted? Do you think Sony needs to get control? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it's crazy to me. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy to me that Bungie just keeps getting away. Like, they're sold. They're sold. But now, like, Sony owns them. They're going to gut them and be like, you know what? We don't want the name Bungie. So we'll take what we want from Bungie, and then you guys can have it back. All right, let me go back up here and see what you guys are saying. Sarge says, yeah, got him. Let's see. It's been like that, though. Robert Jones says, damn right. Why would you speak out when you're getting paid? But that's just the thing, though, Jones. If you're speaking out now, why didn't you speak up before? You were okay with it, right? You were getting paid, so you were okay with it. Why speak out now? Krabby says it's been said for years now that the C-suite was kicking rocks after Marathon shipped. Dolphin says, I might need therapy between Halo and Destiny. That's like 15 years of my life. Ron says, Concord vibes all over again. There's a different stench off this one, Ron. There's a different stench. It's like a mixture of Concord meets Redfall. Dolphin says, I tried Destiny for 3,000 hours. I was like, I'm good. Jason says, I love Destiny 1, but didn't even bother with Destiny 2 since they lied and said Destiny 1 was going to be supported for a decade. It's very true. But we know why they left, Jason. Let's see. Kylo says, Destiny 1 was so good. So many memories. Destiny 2 came out, just wasn't the same. I stayed till I beat the first raid one time and then uninstalled. Kylo says, bro, what? They have a Witcher 3 10-year anniversary Xbox controller up for pre-orders. Ron says, Bungie went from Halo to dumpster fire. Krebsy says, remember 30, Bungie said, don't over-deliver. That is very true, Krebsy. Minimal viable product, under-promise. No, it was under-promise, over-deliver, right? Because if they under-promise and they just give a little bit, which is still minimal viable, right? You don't over-promise and under-deliver. You under-promise and then just deliver, I should say, right? Under-promise and then just deliver. Jones says, new boss might be better than old boss, but we can't say until we see results. True. True. Ron says, Bungie needs to sell honey buns. Honey Bungie. Kraken says, nah, they're fine. Keep letting them cook. Roic says, Sonny's a barbecue place. Sony needs to take control if they ever want to see a return on their ROI. I think if they buy what they did, they bought what they did, take out and strip what they want, take the good parts, get rid of the bad parts, take that studio now. Sort of like what Tencent's doing with Ubisoft, right? They got the IPs, they're starting their own entity, but not Ubisoft. That's exactly what Sony's doing with Bungie. They got Bungie, they ripped out the good of Bungie, and they're kind of just chucking away Bungie. Hal says, I think Sony should take control, but I don't think it'll be less greedy. No, it won't be less greedy, for sure. Kylo Green says, I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen Marathon delayed announcement yet. I don't think it's going to happen. Krebsy, I never say never. You're saying there's a 0% chance. I'll give you that there's a 99.9% chance they're not leaving, but there's still that 0.1%. Here, let me look up something. Let me see. Let's see. I'm asking ChatGPT, okay? I'm asking ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, I asked, could Bungie get away from Sony? Okay, let's read this. Let's read this. It would be very difficult, but not entirely impossible for Bungie to get away from Sony. Here's a breakdown of the situation. Bungie's current status, owned by Sony as of 2022, Bungie is wholly owned subsidiary of Sony Interactive Entertainment, okay, for $3.6 billion. Independent operation. As part of the deal, Bungie was promised creative independence and control over publishing. However, Sony still holds ownership rights and has limits Bungie to freedom to just walk away. Okay, could Bungie leave Sony? Legally, contract and ownership, Bungie would have to buy itself back. A costly and unlikely scenario unless Sony wants to sell. Okay? If not like a partnership or a licensing deal, e.g. Kojima Productions working with PlayStation, Bungie is a wholly owned studio. Strategically, Sony controls the assets. Any departure would mean losing significant IP leverage or needing to cut the deal unless Bungie somehow retains total Destiny IP rights, which is unclear. And in this situation, I don't think they want Destiny. They would just give Sony Destiny, okay? Give them the IP. Sony is likely relying on Bungie for its live service push, including oversight of other PlayStation studios, multiplayer games, increasing Bungie's strategic value, and makes Sony less likely to let them go. Sure. But now we have all this situation happening right now, and Bungie looks really, really bad, right? Financially, Bungie is reportedly struggling post-acquisition. Layoffs, revenue, downturn, delays like Marathon and Destiny expansions. Sony might offload them in return if returns don't justify the cost, but Bungie would still need a buyer or enough capital to become independent again. Okay? What would it take for Bungie to get away? Sony agrees to sell them. Possible if Bungie underperforms or Sony changes its live service strategy. Another company buys Bungie, e.g. Microsoft or third party, but this would also need Sony's approval. Massive internal restructuring and successful negotiation by Bungie leadership, difficult without major leverage. And here's the conclusion. Right now, Bungie cannot just walk away, which is true, from Sony. They need Sony to be willing to selling, and they also need a serious funding to buy back control. That said, if the relationship sours or the financials tank, Sony might consider selling them off, but that would also be a big industry shift. Would you want to see Bungie go? So, again, you're saying 0% chance, and that's telling me I have a probability. Crowded says, meet the new boss, same as old boss. He's like, Hi, I'm the old boss. And they're like, oh, can we see the new boss? Yes, let me get him for you for a second. Hi, I'm the new boss. And you're like, the fuck? You're the same person. Yeah, that's the same person. Travis says, oh shit, I just realized I have Dying Light and Beast free because I also bought the Ultimate of Dying Light 2. Nice. Marathon won't be delayed since Bungie needs all the revenue they can get. I haven't looked into Destiny 2's numbers, but I would also think that they're not getting a lot from it. I think Destiny 2 is doing okay. I haven't looked at it, but at the same time, they need this game to come out. This is like the linchpin of their strategy of getting their live service games out there. They cancel a bunch of stuff, right? And there's that linchpin, which is Marathon. Now, again, I said they could delay it. I don't see them delaying it. Again, today is different than tomorrow, and I'm not trying to hedge my bet. But what I'm saying is, right now they're taking a fine-tooth comb and they're trying to find all the artwork, assets, and stuff within the game. If this takes too long to take all the stuff out, 100% they could delay the game. The games that come out broke, buggy, unfinished, and add stuff as they go, that's not any different. If they release it in 4 months or they release it in 10 months, it's still going to have minimal viable product, and they're slowly going to push the stuff out because they want people to stay and keep coming back. As far as if they can get all the stuff out, full steam ahead, comes out on time because Sony needs them to come out. My opinion. Crowded says, I don't think Bungie wants to give up their IPs. People hate Bungie now. They need their IPs to stay relevant. Here's the thing, though. Destiny was being developed while they were making Halo. When Microsoft wanted to buy them and they said, we don't want to be bought, and they let them go, they had to keep Halo, but they kept Destiny. Then when they went to Activision, they wanted to get away from Activision, and Activision had Destiny. They had to buy Destiny back from Activision. Otherwise, they would have lost Destiny. Okay? Now that they have Destiny, okay, they went on their own, and now Sony picked them up. They could be like, you know what? We have this other thing working in the background because they still work independently. They could give them Destiny. Destiny's done. It's 10 years. They can make a Destiny 3, whatever. Sony could have the rights to that, and they can move off to something else. So like, well, let's give them Destiny and give them Marathon, and we'll start a brand new project over here. Honestly, Bungie might have to be more greedy right now to meet Sony's expectations. Dolphin says, Night Rain has nothing to do with Sony. Okay, Krebsy Gaming says, Bungie doesn't have the cash. Sony would want to retain the talent, experience, and the only people leaving are the C-suites. I think the completely opposite, Krebsy. They can raise the money. Bungie's not a problem getting money. They're a bunch of con artists over there. Okay? They've been taking money from big corporations for better part of 2 decades. Suckering them in for different things. 100%. You're telling me you don't think Pete Carson can't talk to somebody and pull a bunch of money out? Come on, bro. Pete Carson still has a job. He's got over 100 cars. You don't think he's a swindler? You don't think he can try to raise money so Bungie can raise for more capital for other stuff? There's companies out there like Robert Industries that have Star Citizens that pulls $800 million from people. You're telling me you don't think the C-suite guys can get money to break away? Bungie's a very known name, and yes, it's being tainted right now. People have goldfish brains, and if they leave and Bungie breaks off and Bungie's just the name of itself, they can start fresh and still have Bungie. Right? They don't care about the devs. The people that would be in charge of Bungie were just... The article says they're greedy. Right? The article says they're greed. Bungie's greed. Right? All the people there are getting an absorbent amount of money of the higher-ups, and they want to make more money. Guy was going around bragging about the cars to his lower employees. Bungie's only leverage is Destiny, of which the value seems to be dwindling. If they have no good insight to help Sony, with the live service advice, because of their success and has been the skin on their teeth, isn't something you can also teach someone to replicate. Sure, but if Sony's like, yeah, you can go, Bungie, but we keep the IP. We're keeping Destiny. We're keeping Marathon. Remember, Sony doesn't. Their words, not mine. They said that they don't have enough IPs. Sony doesn't have enough IPs. Think about if Sony takes the Destiny IP, gives it to one of their other studios, and now Destiny 3 comes out, but it's not made by Bungie. Okay? Marathon might suck, okay, or might happen, but it's another IP that if they go, yeah, Bungie, you can go, but we'll keep Destiny and we'll keep Marathon. Have a nice day. And Bungie has something else underneath the works. They can go do something. Bungie always seems to just, it's, you know that toy that's like it's like a plastic tube that slips out of your hand. You know what I'm talking about? As a kid, it's got like a bunch of sparklies and stuff in it, and you're like grabbing it, like shoots out of your hand. You can't hold on to it. That's Bungie. That's the analogy of Bungie. It's like everyone keeps grabbing Bungie and like, we own them. Oh shit. And they get away, right? They always get away. If they were capable of making money, they wouldn't need the additional $300 million for Sony buying them. Clearly, and they're in debt. You understand, though, Krebsy, every single time that they left, they needed money. And every single time, they got someone to give them the money. You understand that, right? They couldn't make Halo. They got money from Microsoft, and they made a deal. And then they used them to a point and then got away from them. Then they went off on their own because they wanted to be their own publisher, and then they couldn't do that. So they swindled Activision into giving them money. And then they got on their own again, and then they swindled Microsoft to try to buy them again, and they said, nope, your cost too much. We're not paying you $7 billion for your company. And then they lowered their price, and they swindled Sony to give them the money. They always get the money. Look, a used car salesman always makes a sale. I don't know if you know this, but the guy that's head of the studio right now is a car salesman. He's not actually selling cars. He buys the cars, but he's a swindler, man. Argus, they're 100% going to keep Destiny. Sony is 100% going to keep the Destiny IP, and they might take Marathon. Bungie will, in my 1.1% scenario, they would lose all their IPs and whatever they have underneath the belly. Like they sold Halo, but they had Destiny in the works. Okay, but they kept Destiny, started Destiny, right? They have another thing in the works, and that's what they'll swindle people with. Oh, it wasn't our fault. It was the whole thing that happened there. Yeah, we got bad people, but I'm in control now. Don't worry. We have this really cool IP. It's never done before. It's going to break out. Travis says, I have a question, but do you think there's a possibility this year Game Fest might be smaller than others, meaning that we already know about a lot of games this year, so it might not need to show as much? What do you mean? Summer Game Fest is going to be smaller? No, there's going to be a shit ton of games. Argus says all the sewing and yoga classes they paid for their employees and their massive amount of soy on the drinks to remain the way they are socially and politically are all costs of a fortune. This is where their money is going. 100%. Those times aren't the same because Bungie didn't have the debt when separating from Activision or Microsoft. Bungie needed to be bought by someone or they would have closed due to $300 million debt. They've had money trouble the entire time they've been in existence. How many times have I said that Bungie can't handle money? They're an independent company. Publicly, they didn't tell you they needed money, but privately they were getting money from people to float the business. They have constantly had money problems their entire existence. Oh, hold on one second. Oh, wow. So my wife just sent me a picture. So Epic Universe just opened today, right? And she showed me the wait times at Disney World. Everything at Disney World is 5 minutes or less. Everything is 5 minutes or less. All the rides. Day one, killing Disney. If this was a console war, Disney's dead. That's what it would be. Dreamcast guy would make a video. Walt Disney World is dead. Argus says, and this is why Destiny 2 is monetized to hell and back. Yeah. Remember there was like, well, the cosmetics was just to pay for whatever. Then it was like, well, you need to pay for the cosmetics so we can make more content. And everyone's like, well, see, this is what they had to do it. I was like, fuck you. I don't believe that shit for 1 second. They constantly had problems. I don't talk out of my ass, man. I've been saying since 2016, Bungie has money problems. 2016, that was 9 years ago. You think all of a sudden they have money problems? They've had money problems for a better part of a decade, if not longer. Robert Jones says all these employees benefit and probably waste of money, but no, nowhere near the cost of all those failed projects. I've already acknowledged that Bungie has money problems, but you can have money problems but still have cash in the bank. Yeah, they have cash in the bank because they're swindling other investors, private investors, shareholders. Isn't it convenient that the people that have, before Sony bought them and Bungie had to fire people? I remember having a conversation about this. Isn't it weird that the people that left the studio were the higher up people that have been there and have the most stock options that were being let go? Isn't that weird? Right? We know about that because that was public. What do you think that's happening in private? It's a privately owned company. If I fire Ted and Ted has 10,000 shares of Bungie stock, and now Bungie owns that Bungie stock because they paid him out, and now I sell that 10,000 shares to Steve, who's a private investor. Now Steve owns 10,000 shares. Okay. Sony is buying up those stocks to have the more percentage of buying it and eating them up. Like I said, there's a 0.1% chance that they still get away and make their money. I don't think they are, but Bungie will find a way if Bungie wants to find a way. Remember, this is the same company that's been stealing artwork for a decade, swindling money out of people for 2 decades. It's never Bungie's problem, though. It's never been Bungie's problem. Now everyone's ganging up on Bungie because, they're stealing artwork, and everyone's like, "Oh, I knew that Bungie was bad. I knew it." You can go back to like episode, I don't know, 2016. We started the show in 2015. You probably go to episode like 42, 49, where I'm like, fuck Bungie. Bungie has money problems. Bungie has upper management problems. Yeah, I am Steve. I am Steve. It's all about the selling with the eyebrows. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is Mr. Matty Plays. Mr. Matty Plays, he said, so I previewed Mindseye early. I previewed Eye's Mind early. So let's see what Mr. Matty Plays has to say about Mindseye. It hasn't. I'll be honest. Mr. Matty Plays. If it wasn't for one person in my chat talking about Mindseye, I wouldn't even know what the fucking game is. Oh, no sound? Thank you. I'll back up. I'll back up.
Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent. Today, I'm bringing you a preview for Mindseye. Likely something you've been searching for a while if you have any interest on this game, because...
There you go. I just responded to what he just said there. Okay? Nobody's looking it up. One. And this is not an exaggeration. Travis is the only person for the last 2 months talking about Mindseye. Nobody else in my chat talked about Mindseye. Zero people except Travis. And now I'm not making fun of Travis. I'm just pointing out that they're not marketing this game very well. Okay, we watched a video a couple weeks ago, a couple months, maybe a month and a half ago about Mindseye. We watched the trailer or whatnot. Okay, but not a lot of people are talking about this game, and something feels off about it.
There's been very little information on it, very little gameplay on it. So I'm excited to talk to you about it here today. I guess maybe excited is not the right word.
See, he just said it. There's very little information about this game. Very little gameplay, very little information. That's not normal. Now, I said this last night. Maybe they don't have a lot of money. Maybe they don't have a big marketing budget, so they're not marketing a lot. They're trying to do like guerrilla marketing and whatnot. Send it out to a couple people, bigger streamers, talk about the game like Mr. Matty Plays and stuff like that.
Word, now that I put that out there, and I'll get into that in a moment. But let's just give a little bit of background information on why there's even interest in this game at all. Build the Rocket Boy is a brand new team behind Mindseye. It's led by Leslie Benzies, who is the producer behind GTA 3, San Andreas, GTA...
Producer.
4, GTA 5, LA Noire, GTA Online. So, like, yeah, a lot of Grand Theft Auto pedigree behind this. And that's part of the reason it was exciting is there was this huge void between GTA 5 and 6 where I feel like a lot of crime-based open-world games could have taken their shot to, you know, share a spot with GTA 6. Of course, that's going to come in and clean house whenever it releases, but there's still time for you to make a crime-based open-world game that fills that void, fills a need, and does really well. So Mindseye, especially now with the GTA 6 delay, is kind of hit it at the right time, in my opinion, especially given the mind behind it.
That's a good perspective there by Mr. Matty. Okay? Because Grand Theft Auto got delayed, people are looking to fill that void a little bit, so it might bring up the value of this game a little bit. It's an interesting perspective.
Is one of like the originals behind just GTA at its most prominent. Build the Rocket Boy is said to be a 450 to 500 person team working full-time on the game. It's published.
What did he say? How many people?
450 to 500.
450 to 500 people. All right, I take it back a little bit here. I said maybe they don't have the money to advertise. They have 450 to 500 people making this game that we've never heard of before until a couple of months ago. Something feels off.
Person team working full-time on the game. It's published by IO Interactive's partner division. It's launching on June 10th, and there were a lot of questions with very little answers going into this one. Very little gameplay, very little story details. Any gameplay we did see was just primarily cars blowing up, so it was like, what's going on with this? And then there was I remember seeing it on Reddit Gaming Leaks and Rumors, there was a little bit of a gameplay leak over there, and people were like, well, what is happening with this game? So, yeah, it was a preview. It was hands-off. It was digital.
I get what you're putting down, Mr. Matty Plays. I get what you're saying, right? Listen to the thing again.
So, yeah, it was a preview.
It
was hands-off. It was digital.
And
we have under a month to go now.
And no one's heard of anything about what's happening with this game.
I didn't necessarily build confidence in that environment, but I wanted to go in with an open mind because the demo...
Hey, I have an open mind. Hence why I'm watching the video, right? Because we've heard very little about this game.
Was at least live. When I've done these hands-off previews, like I did it for Pentiment Sticks Out of My Head, it's like a very planned presentation. Everything's pre-recorded. This was just showing like, hey, it works, it's real. So I saw an early game mission, I saw a late game mission, and then I also saw a new Arcadia mode, which is basically their content builder, and we'll talk about that.
Before he says anything, I'm getting a little bit of the same type of vibes. Remember when Saints Row came out? Original Saints Row. Saints Row came out, wasn't spoken about a lot. Okay? All of a sudden, they started showing it, and we're like, oh, it's Grand Theft Auto, right, type of stuff. And the original Saints Row came out, surprised people. Were like, oh, this is actually pretty good. We liked it. We gave it almost the same type of criticism. Like, we didn't hear much about it. All of a sudden it's out. It's a Grand Theft Auto copy. And then it went on to do very well. Maybe, just maybe, Mindseye is along those lines. 450 to 500 people working on a game. You would think it would be a pretty big budget game. It's got to do good, right?
A little bit later.
Right? Right?
I could not record any of my own gameplay, so everything you are going to be seeing in this video was provided by the publisher, so it'll likely look a lot better than what I saw. And here's my general takeaway, and I know with my platform, when I say these types of things, they come with a lot of weight, but sincerely, this game needs to get delayed. I saw so many bugs in this preview.
He's saying this game needs to get delayed. Oof. Oof.
And I've been doing this half my life. Like, I've seen previews in a good state. I've seen previews in a bad state.
No, Mr. Matty, you don't know what you're talking about. You've only been doing this for a better part of a decade. I like Mr. Matty Plays. Right? I think he does good content. I think he's pretty reasonable when it comes to games, especially when he's pretty straight up forward. You know what I mean? Like, he's straight up. He's a straight shooter when it comes to liking or not liking. If you like something, he tells you straight up, I'm biased towards it and whatnot.
This is up there with some of the worst I've seen, just in the terms of...
Hold on. Let me rewind that again.
So many bugs in this preview. And I've been doing this half my life. Like, I've seen previews in a good state. I've seen previews in a bad state. This is up there with some of the worst I've seen, just in the terms of preparation. You could just feel the energy in the room was like, we got to go. Like, the pressure just felt real. Taking that out of the equation, all that matters for you at the end point is the quality of the game here. And I'm just going to run down a list of bugs that I saw. And by the end of the presentation, like, we swear these are all patched. You don't have to worry about any of them. But look, I have seen that song and dance before. I always remember going to my Fallout 76 preview event. And when I went there, the game ran like shit.
For a split second, I saw this and I saw that mountain. And I went, I don't remember that mountain in Fallout 76. And then...
And Bethesda was like, we swear...
It vanished.
To my Fallout 76 preview event.
Right? I was like,
when
I don't remember that mountain.
There, the
it was fine. Fallout 76 came out. It was fine. There was no glitches.
Game ran like shit. And Bethesda was like, we swear it's going to run well at launch. How'd that go? So... I learned my lesson, right? I learned my lesson about, like, putting faith in them. It's like, I know game development. It's like, there's a lot here that needs to get ironed out. And I feel like a GTA 6's delay, this one could also afford a delay.
But do they delay it now, right? In the beginning, time is perfect. GTA 6 got delayed. They're coming out, what, in 2 weeks? Less than a month? Do they take the bait? To like, let's put it out because this is our only moment. You only get one time. First impressions are everything. Do you release this game if it's in bad state just to hope you make, because people want Grand Theft Auto, they're not getting it, and they pick this up instead?
Okay, so bugs I saw. A drone was invisible during a cutscene. This is one they called out pretty immediately and said, like, yeah, we know about this one. There was pretty brutal pop-in with the textures. When they were flying over the city, they got into a sky car and they were flying over, and you could just see it in real time. Did not look very good. I think there were a lot of frame dips. This is the one I'm going to put a little bit of a asterisk on because this was all streamed to us, and so it's possible it was lagging, but it looked like it was, stuttering pretty hard during certain stretches. I'll be on the lookout for this, though, and you should be too, so that's why I just wanted to at least mention it. Things I did actually see, though, were the ones I mentioned before, and also some weird balancing things. The demoist, I've never seen this in my entire life. The demoist used invincibility to get around 2 different encounters in 2...
What? They use invincibility?
2 different missions that they otherwise would have died in because they were very clearly unbalanced. Again, I have...
That's a little weird.
Never seen that before. That is like mid-production stuff. Like when you have not balanced your game and you're like, we just need to test if this can go like start to finish.
The gunplay seems quite slow, doesn't it? Like the gunplay feels very slow.
And like the skeleton, the quest works. that's what you do. So to see that a month away from launch, I'm like, oh boy, that's not good. There were even names missing in subtitles. It would just say like none. I thought that was weird. There were enemies spawning in front of you. At one point, this happened just one time, to be fair. And there was another point where I saw in that same mission, enemies were like crouched behind cover and just shooting into cover. And I think that enemy AI just was not in a good spot either. There were a lot of points in the demo where they were just running at you. So this is all literally...
Look at that right there real fast, right? So I know I'm going to be nitpicking here, but I didn't really look at this closely, and now I'm looking at it because we're
there
watching
were a lot of points.
Look at the guy shooting at him, right? So watch the guy to the right side over here. Okay, he sees him run behind the wall.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Shoots at him right there a couple times,
They were
right? But then watch the next shots.
just running.
Okay, shooting at him, and then all of a sudden,
So
who's he shooting at? Who's he shooting at over here? Look how far away that is.
So this is all literally me watching it.
It's like the NPC lost where he was.
I didn't even get to play it, and this was my takeaway. I was like, this is really buggy. And again, the claim was it will all be patched at launch. And if it is, excellent. But that kind of gets into some of the stiff nature of the game overall, where if I'm just looking at it, bugs aside, they all get squashed. Did I walk away from Mindseye going like, okay, all right. Well, some parts of it, yes, but I wanted to put the bugs up front because, again, I just think it's so important you're aware of this stuff. June is a very competitive time. We know the Switch 2 is coming out, a lot of games releasing, a lot getting announced, and Mindseye is right there in the thick of it. And I think this game has great potential if it's given the time.
Potential is a thing that people don't really take advantage of, right? Anthem had a lot of potential. They pushed it out before it was ready. Where's Anthem today? You can still play it, but it's done. Marvel's Avengers had potential, but they pushed it out, and it didn't fare so well. Okay? If you have potential, make a game, sell a game. Don't make a half-assed game, push it out, and then beg to sell it, and then it fails, and then go, well, we just didn't know what we were doing. If you have 450 to 500 people working on this, and you really believe in this game, then delay the game and push it out, because if it's a good game, people will play it. If it's going to be a good game and you push it out too early, you're done.
Because, again, I want more crime-based open-world games. I don't think Grand Theft Auto has to be the only one. I think Saints Row blew a great opportunity years ago when they were kind of stepping in. It was like, dude, if you bring back like OG Saints Row vibes, that is a perfect...
See, he's making comparisons too with Saints Row. Saints Row came into the market, and 1 and 2 did very well. And then they kind of jumped shark, and they started going apeshit with Saints Row.
Perfect time to do it with no GTA 6 on the horizon, and we know what we got with that. So let's get into more of the meat of the game. Like I said, I saw a few missions in the story, but they said in the presentation the story was about 15 hours long.
I don't know if it's an asset flip, Eclipse. Eclipse says Sony should be ashamed to have this at their showcase. I'm not going to lie, this is bad, and they know that they are the biggest showcase. Everyone watches it and has an asset flip like this. I don't know if this is an asset flip. I think they might. We might have another. When I say No Man's Sky situation, I'm not saying No Man's Sky situation like they launch it and then they fix it 8 years later. No Man's Sky got pushed out the door. I don't think Sony has anything to do with that as far as pushing them out the door, but I feel like they're getting pushed out the door before they're ready, which could hurt them very much in the long run and the short run.
Shorter than I was expecting. The cutscene presentation I thought was...
Does Sony have like the rights, marketing rights or anything like that to this? I'm asking. I don't know.
It's pretty good. Like the way music crawled in and amped during different phases of the mission. You could see there was a lot of time put into that. I was very impressed by that. The motion capture seemed pretty good, again, from the stream quality at least, like facial animations, the way cutscenes were shot, like how they used at one point like a security camera to kind of communicate that you were being monitored during a conversation.
Cool, Jason. We'll take a look at that after this.
Those little tricks always work well for me. They had GTA staples, like, you know, you're driving around and the talks in the cars, you're like going from one end of the map to the other to kind of build up the story, and the music's ramping up as you get closer. Those little things are there. Those little touches that make it feel very GTA-like, the kind of intangibles, really, are there. So some of the presentation looked pretty good. Driving seemed pretty solid, albeit a little stiff, but like that to me is the least of my concerns. At the end of the day, I can deal with that sort of driving. They even had the camera, as I'll talk about in a little bit, play similar to GTA when in vehicle, like the way it slightly detaches and kind of whips. So you're just, as the demos described it, kind of on the edge of control. And it looked like it could feel good in those moments, but also kind of separating itself from GTA and bringing it more in line with like a Cyberpunk. You kind of have these sky cars and you could fly over Red Rock City. Interestingly, though, during the entire demo, we did not see the inside of the city, really, outside of like a motel.
That's a red flag. Here's a city you can drive into. We're not going to show you that city, but trust us, it'll be ready for a game.
At one point. Otherwise, like, you did not drive through the city or anything like that. I went, based on the performance stuff I may have seen, it started to make a little bit of sense. But there was also one other comment I'll get into at the end of this video that stood out to me of like why we maybe didn't go into the city. Overall, though, presentation for cutscenes, I think, was the game's strongest point. I was definitely like into sort of the political espionage tale that was kind of being woven. I was like, okay, I could see this being a little bit interesting here. There wasn't like a particular wow moment, but it seemed interesting and well produced enough in this category to, I think, warrant the interest that it has and to kind of speak to some of the pedigree behind the game. Camera movement, again, in vehicle, but also on foot. Now we're getting to the gameplay. Very GTA-like. You can vault, by the way. I remember when that gameplay...
If you told me this was GTA or an expansion to GTA 5, I would be like, okay.
Leaked. I was reading the comments on Reddit Gaming Leaks and Rumors, and I was thinking the same thing people were saying there, which some guy was like running into the wall constantly. I was like, can you vault in this game? Like, can you not jump? But I did see vaulting, so you can vault. But also the gunplay, the third-person mechanics, like just the way you are animated going into cover, that little meticulous...
It doesn't look awful. It doesn't look awful. But at the same time, it's just odd that they haven't shown much about it.
Attention to detail there, the weapon wheel. I know GTA didn't invent the weapon wheel, but like all these...
I think we know more about GTA 6 than we knew about this game. I think that's pretty safe to say, right?
Abilities that are very GTA-like are here. And again, it's really that camera. I think if this camera was positioned or worked differently in any other way, this game might be getting trounced just because it would not remind people of the thing they love so much. The enemy time to kill was very Rockstar-esque. Like, you shoot them in the head, they drop immediately. If you shoot them in the body, they kind of just ragdoll away. Like I said, the behavioral patterns, though, this is where the combat started to unravel. A lot of these encounters, just these enemies running at you. It didn't seem like there were any true encounter setups, in my opinion, where like enemies were posted in different areas.
I mean, look at the attention to detail. They're doing some good work here. Right? Sandstorms going on. The sandstorms collecting on the dust of the car. It's pretty cool.
Like, here's where they're going to come from and how you're going to have to maneuver the environment.
Like all the environment stuff, the tires screeching and jumping. Here, like, watch again.
Enemies were posted in different areas.
Right? The tires peeling out and the dirt, gravel.
Areas, and like, here's where they're going to come from.
Right here, tire mark on the ground as he hits the white curb.
And how you're going to have to maneuver the environment.
Right? Like, the environment that it's interacting with looks very, very good.
It didn't seem like that level of thought that, again, I mean, it's a tough bar to reach when you're shooting for Rockstar, which is maybe why these companies avoid these crime-based open worlds. But like that level of thought, that level of polish certainly was not there. And it just seemed like encounters were just like distractions, getting a little action going, because Michael Bay's in shambles looking at this game, dude. Like, everything's blowing up. You're blowing up gas stations, you're blowing up cars after a...
Well, that was cool. Did you see
looking at this game, dude? Like, Jeep? Everything's blowing up.
They shot the tires. Tires already flat. Okay, back tire's already flat. Front tire's flat. Yeah, the detail about this stuff. Now, obviously, there's no skids happening there, but it's because the tire's flat, so it doesn't know that. It's not coded for that.
Cars after a few shots. It definitely adds a lot of visual flair to otherwise pretty...
Explosions look good.
Flat third-person...
Even look at the explosion when it hits when the gas pump explodes. It billows up, hits the ceiling, and then spreads out. See that?
It's a lot of visual flair to otherwise pretty flat third-person shooting. I feel like the game could lean a little bit more into its sci-fi setting, and they do in certain ways, but weapons-wise, like, it was just ballistics, and there was one weapon that was like this laser rifle, and I went, yeah, that was cool. More of that, like disintegrating your enemies. More of that. But that was the only weapon I saw that functioned that way. The other futuristic element of the combat was in the late game mission, where I got to see like a drone that you could use. You could stun robots. You could take control of them, and they basically just fight on your side and absorb some enemy
the player
firepower.
movement. Player movement looks like a third person. Like, for some reason, anytime someone makes a third person shooting game, it looks very clunky.
You could also use your lens to scan nearby areas, or use that drone to kind of survey nearby areas. So a little bit of Watch Dogs, but again, we're talking about Ubisoft, but hey, like, I like Watch Dogs, but like not nearly as polished or as thought out, I feel, where again, this game could just...
The explosions are top notch. I'll give them that. Look at the fire, though.
The general theme of the video is like, it could just use some more time.
What happened there?
I feel, where again, this game could just... The general theme of the video is like, it could just use some more time.
Oh, he exploded. It's like they exploded before he exploded. Hold on one second. I want to back up a second. Here, you know what? Let me just back up.
I feel, where again, this game could just... The general theme of the video is...
Okay. So the guys come out the door. One comes out. No oh, right there. Okay. Blows them out. That's cool. Yeah, that's good.
Some more time. What's new, though, that you really weren't able to piece together, and where I think the conversation gets really interesting if I get speculative here, is the portals they showed. So they hopped to a third story mission. They didn't play it out, but you spawn in this room, and there's literally a portal right in front of you. And to be clear, like, throughout the demo I saw, this game is very much trying to ground itself in some sort of reality to make it believable. Like, there was, you know, a politician running a campaign, and she was screwing over this sort of like business owner and trying to make him look bad. And so, like, again, this sort of like knife in the back type of storytelling that was ongoing, where to see like a portal, this sort of magical thing, I'm like, what the heck is this? But yeah, like a literal portal was just there, and you can step through it. And this is where the game has content that you can build. So it's called Arcadia, and there are these tools that are available on PC at launch. Basically, you're allowed to fill the map with encounters and stuff, which makes me anticipate a hollow map, because one thing...
Wait a minute. I'm confused. There's a portal that you can go through and make your own, like, your own house, your own map?
Thing they said in the middle of the presentation was talking about post-launch content. They said that as they were flying over the city, they said, yeah, this is like Red Rock City, and we want to, with post-launch content, drive more gameplay into the map. And I went, drive it into, what do you mean? Like, it's not really there?
I'm so confused right now. I'm gonna let him speak a little bit, but I'm just trying to, I don't understand. Drive more gameplay into the map. Does that mean they're not putting the stuff in the map? You make your own customization of the map for missions
at launch. And as I saw, all of the content was kind of in this Badlands, this arid Badlands area. I mean, not that they're not going to use the city at all. They built it for a reason, but it seemed like it was almost deliberately avoided. And then the one time I saw, like, the corner of the city was in an Arcadia mission to sort of fill out that part of the map. So I'm like, how hollow is this going to be, if at all?
I'm so confused. I was okay with everything that he set up to this point, right? I'm a little skeptic of this game. I'm definitely not buying it day one. I probably won't buy it month one. I probably won't buy it year one. This game is already a sale item for me in my perspective. Okay, just because I don't think it's going to be done when it comes out, just because of the way they're not marketing it. But now what he just said there, now it seems more of I don't know. It just like hollow, and they're going to add stuff down the road.
But anyway, think of these like modding tools. Think of it like a Doom snap map, like these kind of, except much more complicated, might I add. But it basically allows you to like use the tools the game uses to build like behavior patterns all the way down to encounters.
It's like he's speaking a different language right now. I have no idea what he's talking about. What is he talking about as far as
the game uses to build like behavior patterns all the
behavior patterns? What are we talking about?
Way down to encounters. You can drag and drop assets in, build your own locations, and just in any spot of the map, which I think has some pretty cool...
I can make my own map? I can build my own thing? Is that part of the game? Or is that my own... What is this, Mario Maker all of a sudden?
full potential. They plan to add in multiplayer content later on after.
Nope, I'm done. I'm done. If you're gonna add stuff after the fact, multiplayer's not in there at the launch, but you're gonna add it later. Nope.
Launch. And I think you all know how Maddie feels about that sort of stuff, especially if you've heard me talk about Marathon on Defining Duke, because I haven't talked about it on the channel yet. But yeah, it's like I don't care about that. And I'm not trying to be mean. Like, I'm just trying to be sincere so that the developers who need honest feedback.
That's fucking Vegas.
And I'm not trying to be
That's
mean.
Mandalay Bay. What do they call it? Tamarade something.
I'm just trying to be sincere.
That's Vegas. There's Luxor. There's Tropicana.
So that the developers who need honest feedback and probably want to delay this thing, I'd put money on it. They're looking at it like, yeah, we need more time. Probably want to delay this, can like take this video and others and be like, they know. Like, they know this is looking to be a little bit messy. But anyway, these portals will open up some storytelling opportunities, which I thought was interesting. Like, here's some backstory for the main character's military background. Here's a drone race.
But why isn't that just in the game?
Here's a car race. You can play as other characters. Like, in one case, it's a CIA assassin with like a laser pistol. There was a horde mode at one point. So I could see this being maybe a little bit fun, but it didn't seem to add like actual story and cutscenes. It was more like just third-person shooting with a little bit of narrative context as to why you're doing all the shooting. So yeah, I know this has been a really harsh preview, and I'm trying to be generous because this is a brand new team. But when I see like, oh, we're throwing almost 500 people at this game full time.
Power was a brand new team, right? Power was a brand new team. They showed more of that game than they did of this game. What's happening? Show us the game. Tell us what the game is. You have yet to show us what this game is. When's the release date of this?
And I look at the state I saw it in, which is all I can only operate off of. Maybe they did patch everything out. Maybe it is way better at launch. I hope it is. But what I saw, I'm just like, this needs more time.
How hard is it? You make a game, show us game. Right? Make a movie, show us trailer of movie. Make a TV show, show a trailer of the TV show. You make a game, show us game. Show us game.
Definitely needs more time. And I don't know if you can fix things like if the story isn't good, you can't really change that. But I think
June 10th. I'm sorry, we're 2 weeks away. 2.5 weeks away. 2.5 weeks away from launch.
Polish could go a long way because that's what Rockstar games are known for. And if Leslie and his team can kind of carry that level of polish into this product and make those things feel very cleaned up that I was talking about, it might be a lot more enjoyable. Because a lot of these things I'm talking about, like if I'm seeing a demoist literally turn on invulnerability to avoid an encounter that otherwise would kill.
If your demo is turning on invulnerability, John Walker approves. John Walker approves.
Them and disrupt the demo, that communicates to me that like that's a major problem, you know? So again, I appreciate the transparency.
Okay, great, Krebsy. I'll give you another example then, because to your satisfaction, the finals. Embark Studios, their first game as a brand new studio, the finals. They showed gameplay. They showed what that was.
See, part of me wonders if that is part of the plan. Like, just let them see it and kind of just have their way with it. But given the secrecy of the game, the parts of it I saw, the bugs I witnessed, I'm just like, I think there actually might be something kind of interesting beneath all of this. At least a solid crime-based open world shooter. Again, 15 hours, I was like, I mean, it's shorter than I expected for sure for the main story. But when I heard that, I was like, okay, like I can kind of get down with that. But it just feels very hidden and no hands-on. I'm like, So
maybe this is early access, June 10th. He said that multiplayer is not going to be there at launch. So 100%, the game's not finished. And whenever they add multiplayer to the game, that's when maybe I'll look into it.
You know, I got to be real.
If there was no multiplayer and it was just a single-player game, cool. Right? Still probably won't be done. But now he said there's going to be multiplayer and they're going to add it later.
And just say, like, my defense is a bit up with this game. I don't like to do this for previews because it's really hard to walk out, especially an hour-long preview, and just kind of be like this. So I hope to those of you who watch a lot of my previews, you know what this kind of speaks to with the quality of the game that I've seen thus far. So just wanted to record some thoughts, put them out there, give you all the information that you can kind of operate off of with Mindseye. And
Are you really gonna compare, Krebsy, GTA 5 to Mindseye? Take the GTA the 5 off of GTA. If GTA 3, 2, 1, okay, when it came out, you know what I'm saying? Since this is a former Rockstar dev, it's a producer. It's not a dev. It's a Rockstar producer, not a dev. It's a person that funded and got funding and produced, not a dev.
keep an eye out if they change anything with the game. If it launches June 10th, definitely have your guard up. If they delay it, that would increase my optimism for the game a lot, because I think polish was the main thing it looked like it needed. And maybe they already got it, and what I was seeing was like a very old build. We'll see. But, you know, again, I don't want to operate off of empty promises. I want to operate off of what
Yeah, we're going to watch that after this, Luke.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mindseye preview done. Let me know your thoughts down below. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.
All right. Mr. Matty Plays video link is in the description down below. I'm not touching this game. I don't care how good it is. If it comes out, I'm going to wait for reviews and previews and all this other stuff. I'm going to wait for the roadmap that they're going to have. I'm going to wait for developers to talk about how good it is and how this is a hidden gem, right? If you hear all these things that happen, then maybe someone purchases this game. They're going to push this out if they have no marketing budget to actually show what the game is, but they have a marketing budget to sponsor Twitch streamers and YouTube streamers to show what this game is. We'll see what the game what the game does, but I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. It's got too many red flags for me to be like, it might be a great game. Might be a great game, but they haven't shown that. So, not touching it. Did you guys post the new trailer? I like Altern how you made that a meme. This thing right here. I love I love that you made this. Yeah. Really? Really? Titan says, I feel like there's no marketing for this. Barely anyone is talking about it. June is release. Yeah. They're hiding something. And if they're not hiding something, something's up. You know what I mean? Something's up. Let's see. 30 minutes ago, season 2.5 kickoff, that thing.
Hello everyone, Guang Guang here. After the Hellfire Gala was crushed by Ultron's surprise attack, the mutants of Krakoa face some of their toughest days yet. Now, Ultron has stolen Cerebro, evolved into the even more formidable Electron.
Best part is, how much is Mindseye, by the way? Is it a $70 game, by the way? Is Mindseye a $70 game?
And retreated to his new stronghold, Arakko. Once Krakoa's sister Iron, Arakko, has lost all its vitality,
$60? Okay.
transformed by Ultron into a cold, merciless, mechanical world. But the fight isn't over. Our heroes, regrouping after their setback, must now join forces with Krakoa to save Arakko. Now, let's talk about Ultron as
Someone right now has paused this video and
join forces with Krakoa to
right here, they probably paused the video. They're doing a zoom enhancement back here to see if they can get a glimpse of something new.
save Arakko. Now, let's talk about Ultron as a playable hero. He's a strategist who can provide consistent healing to his allies. However, he can also unleash devastating energy beams against enemies. His unique primary weapon introduces an all-new shooting experience. And as a flying strategist, Ultron opens up fresh possibilities for your aerial lineups. For Season 2.5, we are taking our dynamic team-up ability system even further, with broader adjustments to team-ups to bring even more strategy and excitement to every battle. In this update, we are adding 6 new team-up abilities, removing 4, and adjusting.
Okay, Cap. Okay, are these the new ones? Jeff NATO, Rocket Network, Penny and Rocket, Ultron and Iron Man, Namor and Hulk, Cap and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye and Luna, and Jeff and Symbiote Serum. Interesting. And then Black Widow and Punisher.
The members of one. Overall, by Season 2.5, more than 50% of our team-up abilities have changed compared to Season 0. And by popular demand, we are adding the gem.
What? Fucking Jeff NATO. People are going to quit the game. They're like, fuck Jeff. Fuck you, Jeff.
Adult team-up ability. We love hearing your ideas, and community feedback is a huge part of how we shape the game. So keep those suggestions coming. On June 6th, we are launching an exciting new limited time experimental mode.
Is this a PvE thing? Ultron's Battle Matrix Protocol. Is this a PvE mode?
Ultron's Battle Matrix Protocol. In this mode, 6 players can choose their own hero lineups, craft unique builds, and enhance their heroes' traits. Then, engage in battle against other players for the chance to claim victory. This mode is an experiment of how we can fulfill
The fuck is going on here?
everyone's fantasies of Marvel superheroes teaming up. Players can take control of a wider array of heroes and amplify their states.
What is happening here? Oh, you're Ultron going up against the other characters?
And abilities. Take a break from the high-octane cooperative team battles to enjoy streamlined.
Oh, it's a chess match. Oh, it's like a chess game.
Strategic, numerical-based solo tactical play.
I was so excited. It's a solo tactical play. Oh, I was so excited. I mean, I guess it's solo. It is a PvE type of thing. Not what I'm looking forward to, but interesting.
As the battles unfold, you will see Venom grow into a colossal force after devouring enemies. Witness Hela's extreme fire rate and spitting projectiles as she cuts down foes. Experience the increased strikes of Psylocke's ultimate. And behold, Namor commanding a true army of deep-sea creatures. Strategists will also unleash ultimate abilities that not only heal their allies, but also deal tons of damage to their enemies.
I'm very confused what's happening here.
We've also taken note of your feedback regarding the previous giant size.
I didn't play the giant brain thing at all. I just completed getting Logan's skin for the gala. I just got that yesterday.
Brain Blast leaderboards. Consequently, this mode will not feature similar designs, allowing players to fully enjoy the experience based on their preferences.
You know what? I love it. I love that they're giving more modes to do what you want. Now, I know it's experimental, but this is exactly what they should do. More things to come in. If I want to play again, PvE mode's not in the game, but if I want to play a PvE mode, sort of is with the practice type of thing. But if I want to play the game there, if I want to play in competitive, if I want to play quick matches, if I want to play this new mode here, the more the merrier. More people come in and play different things. They'll spend money because if they enjoy the game, they'll spend money on the cosmetics or the battle passes.
With the launch of Season 2.5, we are introducing a new feature that showcases hero proficiency avatars on the Match Hero Select wheel. Additionally, we are rolling out 2 fresh personalization systems, mood and emojis.
Just more money. They're like, oh yeah, just more money. Let's add more game modes, but have more stuff to spend money on and earn stuff.
We will continue to optimize the player experience with each version update.
Yeah. And I'm fine with it. If you want to spend the money, spend the money. It's free to game. There's so much you can do.
Starting from Season 3, the seasons of Marvel Rivals will be shortened to 2 months each, and we are diligently preparing for the new pace. Our vision has always been to provide fun and engaging superhero experiences.
That's what I'm talking about. Superhero experiences.
For all Marvel Rivals fans. And the new heroes we're cooking up are definitely worth the wait. We'll gradually unveil a series of adjustments and updates for Season 3, so stay tuned. In June, our Ignite Tournament series will kick off the first stage of competition. We hope everyone enjoys the excitement these matches bring. Now, let's turn it over to Zhiyong, who will share insights.
I'm sorry, what was his name? I would have butchered that to hell.
Now, let's turn it over to Zhiyong, who will share insights on the adjustments to team up abilities and balance changes for Season 2.5.
Let's be honest, his name could have been Tim. I would have butchered it.
Hey Rivals, Zhiyong here to give you the details on our Season 2.5 update. It's packed with dynamic team-up ability changes and overall balance tweaks that are sure to ignite your battles.
It's too long. People are dropping off too fast. We're making it shorter. Add a new hero every single month. Shorten the seasons, right? If they shorten the season, though, by 4 weeks, you gotta get more experience per thing to finish the battle pass. Otherwise, people will be like, well, actually, no, they don't have to do that. Because if you buy the season pass, you can still complete it.
Season 2.0, we debuted adjustments for
I was going to say something, Krebsy. That's why I paused and didn't say anything for a split second. But I was like, nah, it wasn't nice. So I wasn't going to say anything.
team-up abilities, injecting fresh energy into our game environment. With Season 2.5, we are going even further, with not only team-up ability changes, but also the arrival of our new hero Ultron and the key numerical balance updates, all set to deliver a whole new level of combat excitement.
3 hero seasons, now 4 weeks long. So seasons are 2 months long. So you're getting one hero every 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks, you're getting a new hero. So you're getting two. You're still getting 2 heroes per season.
Venom takes center stage as
I didn't say it, Titan. That's why I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but that's why I paused. I'm being very honest. I paused to say something, and then I didn't say it.
the team-up anchor, sharing part of his symbiote with Jeff. This lets Jeff wield symbiote tendrils to link with allies and heal them in the heat of battle. As the team-up anchor, the Punisher has retooled Black Widow's Red Room rifle with a brand new firing mode.
She is the weakest character in the goddamn game. She is the weakest character in the game.
Now, while aiming down sights, she can unleash a piercing pulse beam that cuts right through enemies. Luna Snow powers up these team-ups as the anchor by crafting a specialized ice arrow for Hawkeye. This arrow penetrates through terrain cover, and the farther the target, the more damage it packs, even stunning foes beyond
That's big. That's big right there.
a certain distance. Rocket steps up as the team-up anchor by engineering an enhanced bionic spider nest for Penny.
That's fine, Water. You can. There's always going to be a person that's a master of it. She's still the weakest character in the game.
One that can coexist with her original while also dropping armor packs. Meanwhile, Penny ramps up Rocket's battle rebirth beacon so that it now spawns cyber weapons.
Correct, Luke. They are giving us three characters, but they said they're giving us a new hero every month. There's 6 months left, right? So there have been 6 new characters coming in, but now each season's only two months long, right? So they shortened it by 1 month. So you're still getting 2 characters per month, but they just added basically a new season because it was supposed to be 3 and 3. Now you're getting 2, 2, and 2. So you're getting season 3, 4, and 5 instead of getting seasons 3 and 4.
Webs, spider germs, and arachno mice. However, the enhanced beacon and the original can be active at the same time. When Iron Man leads the charge as the team-up anchor alongside Ultron, things get seriously high-tech. Ultron taps into part of Iron Man's armor might, gaining the power to fire potent unibeam lasers that pierce everything in their path, damaging enemies while healing teammates. Storm, the team-up anchor, and Jeff can combine their
This is ridiculous. But this is why I said in the very beginning, the hero team-ups are what make this different from Overwatch, right? Where you can nerf stuff and buff stuff, but the team-ups change season to season, which then change up the thing. So yeah, your guy might be powerful, but there's a changing factor, and the changing factor is the team-up.
might when both of their ultimates are ready, unleashing the fearsome Jeff Nato. Storm directs the soaring Jeff Nato, dealing
Oh my god.
sustained damage over time
Not only does he suck them in, but they get damage over time. This is going to be broke. Jeff and Storm are going to be all over everyone's match now.
before ultimately devouring enemies. The following 4 team-ups are being completely removed: Cheering Charisma, Allied Agents, Ammo Overload, and Symbiote Bond. Additionally, Iron Man will be removed from the Gamma Charge team-up.
That's a nice one, though. See? You don't have to nerf or buff their actual individual things. You can just move them to a different team-up.
In Season 2.0, with heroes like Captain America, Iron Fist, Human Torch, and the arrival of Emma Frost,
Don't you nerf my Captain America.
our battlefield distance shrank. This meant that squad positioning often got tangled, with agile heroes dashing past enemy vanguards to strike at backline targets, and backline heroes forced into dangerous engagements. This all resulted in a heightened emphasis on team coordination, laser-focused targeting, protective strategies, and precise positioning to back the win.
Can you guys, and I'm not making fun of him in any way, shape, or form, but can you imagine if I spoke like this for 3 hours? Hello, welcome to The Daily Grind. Today on The Daily Grind, we are going to be talking about... I would shut myself off.
High mobility lineups, think Venom Spider-Man and Captain America Iron Fist, were wreaking havoc on the field in Season 2.0. On the flip side, teams using Groot Wars in tandem with Winter Soldier, Namor, Mr. Fantastic, and The Thing could effectively corner these swift adversaries. Meanwhile, the triple strategies battle with their stellar sustain and protection also work well against dive and high mobility threats. All of these reflect the rock, paper, scissors dynamic
See, they even use it. The rock, paper, scissors dynamic.
between different lineups. And let's not forget the powerhouse team-up abilities like
I agree, Sarge. Let him talk the way it is, and then just have someone come in and do the voiceover. So he speaks in his native language, and then you have a voiceover that says, and let them not forget the powerhouse team of abilities like...
Emma Frost, Magneto, Psylocke, Hawk, Iron Man, Namor, Doctor Strange, Scary Witch, plus the Fantastic Four, all proving to be titans on the field. We also recognize that traditional frontline push tactics saw their competitiveness decline in Season 2.0, while high mobility light-ups resulted in faster, more intense, and sometimes exhausting matches. Therefore, in Season 2.5,
I think the next time we watch one of these, I think I'll just mute it, and then I'll just read it.
we are adjusting
It won't be much better. We are adjusting some of the overhearing heroes.
some of the overbearing
Overbearing
heroes.
heroes. See, I already fucked it up.
And with the arrival of the flying strategist Ultron, new team compositions and strategies will
The line wasn't
emerge.
there. Couldn't see it.
For Vanguard heroes, we are nerfing Groot while giving Doctor Strange and Magneto a modest buff. We've also observed that Captain America's enduring survivability and Emma Frost's diamond form have been a bit too dominant.
Don't you touch Captain America. I love him right now. God damn it. God damn it.
So expect some balance adjustment there too. For duelists, we will be
It's not my fault I'm good at Captain America. Don't you touch him.
nerfing Iron Fist, Human Torch, and Psylocke, while providing modest buff to the Punisher, Squirrel Girl, and Storm.
Squirrel Girl's getting a buff? Come on, bro.
Opening up a whole new realm of the tactical possibilities.
He's got too much health. They already nerfed his health. They already nerfed his health, Luke. How many times am I back? He's a tank. How many? Fucking Thor, he's constantly just getting his shit back. Same with Wolverine.
For strategists, after enhancing some heroes mid-season in Season 2.0, we are now giving Luna Snow an increase to her ultimate ability energy requirements, in exchange for a mid-boost in her standard abilities to keep the overall pace in check in Season 2.5. Jeff the Land Shark will also
The only buff or nerf that Emma Frost needs is the chest region, right? You can nerf or buff that. Leave everything else alone.
receive
Leave Captain America alone.
a partial adjustment for a fresh experience. Lastly, we are dialing back the power for some of the most dominant team-up abilities, such as the Fantastic Four, the Hawk-Namor pairing, and the Emma Frost Magneto Psylocke team-up. These refinements combined with
Kyla says, buff, please. Buff the region.
our new dynamic team-up ability changes will completely transform the battlefield experience. And that's not all. The details above are just a taste of what's coming. For more in-depth balance updates, keep an eye out for our forthcoming update announcements. Stay tuned, as we will also be releasing the Season 2.0 hero pick race and win race very soon. Until next time, keep fighting, keep strategizing, and as always, ignite the battle.
They got some good stuff there. That fucking Sharknado thing is gonna be crazy. Now when you hear them scream, you're like, run! Run! Every time I hear the goddamn shark sound, I get away. You know what I've been doing? So when I'm the Punisher, if I'm not in my gun turret and I hear Shark make his little, I forget what his sound is, but when I hear it, I have like PTSD. I've been grappling straight up in the air. I like grab onto some sort of roof or something. I shoot up there, grab it, and just yank, right? And I shoot up all the way there, so I'm completely away from that. Like, it's crap, dude. I also been doing with my Punisher, I'll be grappling onto other things in certain places, and I launch myself up in the air and land up on top of something and then shoot down on people. That's been pretty cool as well. Yeah, I personally don't play competitive. I play just do my dailies and whatnot. I'm having a blast. I thought they were doing PvE for a second. I mean, they kind of are. You're playing your own thing. They're going to put it in. I have a feeling they're going to put it in. I can't wait. I want like a boss fight or something, you know? Just give me a boss fight. Give me like what Destiny did, sort of like a strike, a dungeon type of thing. Just a quick run through. They're experimenting with abilities and stuff in that chess mode, which is interesting. I like comp for the free skins. That's it. I don't even do it for the free skins. I'm okay with what I have. I'm okay with what I have. It's gonna be a nice little update. Yeah, it'd be fun to see how Ultron's being used, especially as a stratagem or strategist, as a flying strategist. That's gonna be interesting. I saw something earlier today. As I was looking, I could have sworn I saw. I saw Asmongold say that Twitch is done. What's going on with Twitch? I don't see it now. Is it Adpocalypse again? The hell was it? I can't find it now. Twitch ad revenue is at a record low. Yeah, Twitch is cooked. Here it is. It's yesterday. I want to see
Twitch
this.
revenue is at an all-time.
I wanted to watch this. What's happening with what's happening with Twitch? We've been back over there for like a month. What's happening with them? I'm not making any money from them.
Twitch revenue is at an all-time low. Is it really? Is this true?
This is how the Twitch ad revenue has gone. Ad revenue is an all-time low.
I feel like when people say Twitch is done, is like saying Xbox is dead or Sony's dead. You know what I mean? It's just like hyperbolic type of thing.
And not down to zero. This is a little bit overdone, of course. Take it easy.
Yeah.
This is a little bit over. We're exaggerating. It's not from. It isn't cut down to 10%, but it is down. I talked to Miskiff about it yesterday as well.
This is my graph.
And he said,
Jesus Christ. I get... Okay. No shade. No shade to Asmongold or anybody else that's making really good money. Holy Christ, dude. That's just his 1 month of revenue. That's 30 days of revenue. He made $24,000 off revenue. And he doesn't run ads. He doesn't run ads. Do you guys understand? Holy Christ.
he looked at his when he saw his dashboard, the ad revenue compared to before, it's so shit. But that's good that we have Kick as well, that can help us. Maybe that will.
So basically, we have. Let's see if I can pull it up. So this is the amount of money.
I love how transparent he is. He's very transparent because he can be, because he doesn't care. To him, it's not about the money because he makes so much money. He actually doesn't care about it, right? He goes for the people that watch him. He doesn't run ads, right? Because he makes money from other places.
I get from ads every single year.
You have the pre-rolls and stuff like that. He's got 8,753 subscribers at tier 1.
Every single week. So on April 28th,
that's right, Argus. He's in a spot where he doesn't have to give a shit.
I made $0 from ads. On the 29th, I made 0.03 cents.
See, that's crazy. Okay, so paid subs, he made. Okay, so in just one day, he made $1,528. I make that in a third of the year off of YouTube. 1/3 of the year, I make what he made in one day. Right? He is the 1% of the 1%ers. Like, he is up there, man. Right? Off of ad revenue, 0.3 cents. That's crazy.
Cents from ads. On the 6th, I made 0.06 cents from ads. This one was really weird. On May 1st, I actually made $6.
Yeah, but the only reason you see ads, Eclipse, he's not running those. Those are pre-roll ads that run automatically.
From advertising.
Yeah, this is just Twitch. This is not his YouTube. This is one channel, by the way, on Twitch. I'm sure his other channel makes more money as well.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, he has at least 4 channels. Yeah.
$4 from advertising on May 2nd. May 3rd, we're all the way up to $8. $17.
What does it matter, though, Jason? If he cleans his house, how does that affect his content?
On Sunday, May the 4th. Crazy amount of money there. And let's take a look at this here. $15 in ads. Now we're back again at 11 cents for ads.
He made 11 cents in the day. I make 0.1%, like 1 cent on ads on certain things.
21 cents.
He's getting tens of thousands, if not millions of views on whatever he puts. It's ridiculous the amount of money this man makes.
For ads. 10 cents for ads.
Nobody wants to look at his ugly house. When you say nobody, are you negating all the millions of people that watch his stuff, Travis? Nobody wants to watch it, but yet for some reason nobody's watching. But the man made $24,000 in the month. But you're right, nobody wants to see that.
Let's see here. 17 cents for ads. 0.07 cents for ads. And they've also taken away my Turbo payments as well. So for a while, I was getting paid a lot with Turbo.
So that wasn't actually what he made. That was without Turbo. He just went up from $24,000 to
payments
almost
as well.
$40,000.
So for a while, I was getting...
Bro. Amazing. Respect.
Paid a lot with Turbo because I have a lot of viewers and tons of people watch me. So Turbo was getting aggregated in.
What's happening over there? Why is this man one of the most watched people on the planet? All of a sudden that he made money, now that money's gone. Advertisers not paying. Advertisers are gone.
As the percentage of people, because let me explain how much money I would be making if I had advertisement turned on for this level of delivery. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you an idea about how much money this would have been. Okay. All right. So we have 39,000.
I'm going to say that he's going to make a shit ton more. 100K?
This is the amount of money that I made.
Okay. Shut up.
This is the amount of money.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Think about that for a second, chat. Now, I don't know if he's over-exaggerating. I don't think he is. He makes $39,000 from April to May. Okay? $39,853. He's saying if they didn't do what they did with Turbo and everything else, he would make almost $400,000 a month. My brain... Do you know... Imagine running a business. Imagine running a business where you're a restaurant or you sell donuts and someone stops doing one thing and you lose a complete zero off of your income because advertisers don't want to pay on your platform anymore. That might be underestimate. You're right, Intervoid, right? Like, that's insane. That's insane. What is Twitch doing?
Yeah, I would have.
Because he doesn't run ads on his, and he makes this much money.
If I had ads enabled.
Ads enabled, he would make $400,000. Do you understand the amount of? Maybe you guys don't. Okay, as a content creator, okay, I don't run ads because I think the content that I'm making you make what you want. There's people here that have never given me a cent, and I'm okay with that. This is not a call out to anybody or anything, right? I'm okay with that. Give me 1 second. My wife's calling me. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. The hell were we doing? We were talking about. We were watching the video. Yeah, sorry about that. Turn to 10 minutes, turn to 20 minutes, because the guy who we got some people doing our gutters, and he had his clipboard on the back of his truck, and he drove off and fucking went bye-bye. So he didn't know what to do, so I had to walk him through. Same shit, different day. All right. Let's continue watching. So yeah, we were talking about how he's making a fat stack. That the ad revenue from Twitch is that they're completely screwing. Obviously, he's the upper echelon of it, but if it's affecting his flow, then it's affecting everybody else's flow as well. You know what I mean?
No, I know this very well. I've streamed on Twitch for a long time. Probably on. Yes, exactly. And so enable them wholly. Who cares? Per month? Yeah, this would be per month on this channel. And so,
holy Christ, this much just on this channel. Holy Christ.
Yes, exactly. It's a lot of money.
It's a scorcher outside.
And seeing it that much doesn't make me jealous. It makes me want to grind harder. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you're making, like, you don't need to make $1 million a month to be happy.
My goal has always been 1,000 people. That's it, right? 1,000 people. That was my goal from the very beginning. That's my goal till today. If I can get 1,000 people to watch me consistently, I would be fine. More than fine.
Happy. If you make $100,000 to $200,000 a year.
We love seeing your face, 30, but no video. No video. Oh shit. I was like, no video. I was like, it's playing, but you can't see it. Let me back up a little bit.
Seeing it that much doesn't make me jealous. It makes me want to grind harder. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you're making, like, you don't need to make $1 million a month to be happy. If you make $100,000 to $200,000 a year, you will start capping out on happiness. If you think, and if you're making $150,000 a year and you don't.
My great uncle said the same thing. He came from very little, from overseas, right? He came from Italy, came here with nothing. Didn't have 2 nickels to rub against each other, right? 2 pennies, whatever the expression is. And when he got older, he made a very successful job. He used to make like Teflon pieces for like computers and different machineries and stuff. And he became very wealthy. And he said the same thing. He said, at a certain point, it doesn't even matter anymore. He's like, the money doesn't bring happiness at all.
Don't live in San Francisco or New York, right? You live in an average city and you are unhappy and you're making $150,000, $200,000 a year. You probably will.
It is kind of funny that he makes this much money and his house is like that. You guys were talking about his room. And now it's just a thing. I think he does it because it's a shtick now, you know?
Not be happier with more.
Didn't he say he was going to clean it? He was going to hire a cleaning crew because he fell through his roof a couple of weeks ago?
Money. Just being honest. Just being honest. Like, your problem is probably not money. And this is, by the way, a statistical wrong. Guys, there is never, like, I have never been more right. That's not true. There have been a lot of times that I've been more right than this, even though this is statistically proven. But this is a statistically observed and proven phenomenon. You can research it and look into it yourself. There's a tremendous amount of diminishing returns once an individual reaches the amount of money where they have enough money to effectively live a relatively, worry-free life.
Look at the amount of turbo, right? The turbo, I don't even know what the... Earn more with Twitch alerts. Streamers using Twitch gifted alerts with celebration see an average of a 20% increase in gift revenue. He doesn't do that either.
Lifestyle, right? And so that's it. So I used to make tons of money off of Turbo. You guys see this. This is $500.
Water says, I'd rather be rich and unhappy than broke and unhappy any day.
Per turbo every single month. So let's take a look at how much money I was making from turbo. I made $17,000 from turbo last month. This month I have made $4. So
Holy shit. I'm sorry, did he just say $17,000 last month? $4. Oh, wait a minute though. What's the time period? March 22nd to April 20th, and then from April 20th, oh, it's the same thing. Shut up.
last month, this month
April 21st, so it's been over a month. He went from making $17,000 on turbo to $4. What the fuck?
I have made $4. So if
Look at $17,242 last period to $4.67. What's going on, Twitch? What is going on?
you go from $17,000
What is happening?
and you go from that to $4, gentlemen, are they still hiring?
You're not going to be working at McDonald's. Settle down.
Geez,
You mean you might own a McDonald's?
guys, this might be me soon. Oh no! Oh no! What is this? Where's my turbo money going? I don't know.
That's the question. That's the question. Where is that turbo money going? Where did these $16,200 go?
And that's the crazy thing, is that all of these people, I want to understand from Twitch why it is that I was getting paid all of this money from Turbo every single month. I was getting $17,000. Do you know how many bags of beef jerky I could buy with
It's a lot of beef jerky. That's a lot of beef jerky.
$17,000? 5. And so, where's all this money going? What happened?
Someone better do an audit on Twitch. If there's taking $17,000 from him alone, what did they do with everybody else?
To it. I don't know what the fuck this is.
That's fucking crazy.
And so anyway, because they hate you. Yes, and I was making this much money before then as well.
Dude, he's averaging, oh my God. He's averaging November to December, 104,000. He's averaging $30,000 a month just off Twitch, just on that one channel.
And so I was making all of this turbo money. This is, I guess, right whenever I first started, right? Yeah, this is it. I made $56,000 in a day. That was a very good day for.
This makes me very depressed and also happy what you could potentially make. I don't make anywhere near this. Transparency, I make a couple of $100 a month off of YouTube. That's it. Total. What he makes in what he made in one day, Friday, December 6th, $56,000. It will take me 10 years on the money that I make from YouTube to make that.
Very good day for me. And let's see here, Turbo.
That's not an exaggeration. It would literally take 10 years of the average that I make to make what he made in that one day in December 6th.
And you can see, obviously, this really fucked it up a lot because, the average, for everything got messed up. But you can see how Turbo.
His subscriptions, it says right down here. Subscriptions is 17,000. The 56,000 when he made that was hold on. That was 13,000 was Prime subs. 36,000 was gifted subs. 36,000. Prime subs, 13,000. In one day, he made $56,000 between gifted and Prime subs.
In a day. That was a very good day for me. And let's see here, Turbo. And you can see, obviously, this really fucked it up a lot because, like, the average, like, for everything got messed up. But you can see how Turbo was a really good amount of the money. Like, even this right here,
I want to know what Twitch is doing with this money. Where did that money go for him?
$1,500, or sorry, $1,500 for Turbo right here. And so Trump's supposed to be live at 3 p.m. Well, I'll be there. I mean, I'll watch it when he's live if it's something important.
What is Twitch doing with that $17,000?
So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, they just totally took it away from me.
But where did it go?
Yeah, they straight up took away my Turbo money completely. Let me see if I can find this thing with old Donald showing up, and then I'll go back to this and talk about it a little bit more. English-speaking rules.
Does he stay on
Trump
this, or does he go somewhere else?
They make an announcement. Okay. When is this
it's a video, you
happening?
probably
I
cut
guess
it
we're
out.
gonna have to find out. So yeah, we'll find out. Hopefully, they're gonna announce that America is now, they've won all of the wars, and America now runs every country. I'm gonna get to it. And so anyway, so listen to Tectone.
No, I understand that, Sarge. What I'm saying is they paid him, and all of a sudden they just took it away. If they're taking it away from him, that means they're taking it away from everybody else as well. That's the money that he owned, like is owed to him. Twitch just took it. They just straight up stole it.
We have made 14.
Shut up, Baldy.
We have made. Yeah, we didn't make shit. You made. I didn't get a cut of your money.
Where's we? What do you mean we? What do you mean we? What are we talking about we? What the hell are you talking about we? But where's my money? I don't know.
What does he have? Average viewers 5,677, and he makes $14,000 a month. I don't even want that much. I don't even want that much.
It's tech.
What is Turbo? Turbo is like YouTube Prime, or is that what it's called? YouTube Premium. Same type of thing. You get like benefits and whatnot.
Don't even subscribe to me. User Tectone. Actually, yeah, that's my boy.
Clip says they announced a new class for Darktide. Siege mode is coming June 26th, and Space Marines 2. There you go.
Yeah.
YouTube Premium. Thank you.
Yeah, he is.
What's going on, Altern?
He is. He's up.
Did you get here when I was taking a break?
$15,000 this month. However,
I have to say though, it does sound the way Asmongold was talking. He wasn't talking down like, "Oh, woe is me, I lost $17,000." Do you know what I mean? Now I don't know this guy that he's. I know it's his friend. I think he does a podcast with him, if I'm not mistaken. The way he's talking is that he's trying to present it as that they stole it from him as well, and you. Like he said, we lost.
I actually, the worst thing is I don't think I'm set to Tech. I gotta subscribe to Tech. I feel really bad now. Jesus Christ. But no.
Robert Jones says, and that's just a pool of money, not guaranteed. Yeah, but that pool of money, you're telling me that the person that took his Prime money, right? He went back and looked at it month after month. It was there, right? We could go back in the video and look, and you could see every month that Turbo was there, Turbo was there, Turbo was there, and then all of a sudden it was completely gone.
Oh, his is gifted? Okay, yeah, now I don't feel bad. Yeah, see, look. Yeah, look at this.
I'm a massive outlier because Twitch said you don't get ad revenue because you called Frogan fat.
Okay, if he's getting gifted, you can't count that as actual. Look, the advertisement and stuff like that, and people watch time, you get paid a certain amount with views. That's guaranteed ad revenue and stuff like that. But if your ad revenue comes from gifted and stuff like that, you can't rely on that, right? There's times that obviously someone gives gifted 1 month and then you get no gifts the next month. You can't cash that check and be like, well, I had 200 gifted memberships last month, so I'm going to get 200 gifted memberships this month. It doesn't work that way.
So I'm missing out on about 21 days of potential ad revenue, which sucks ass. Yeah. They said, oh, you called Frogan fat, so you get no money off our fucking ads, which is great. Then, Frogan can insult our soldiers, and Hassan can wish death upon people, and Hassan can call people pedophiles.
That's right.
And Hassan
I don't like when people make comparisons of this. I don't like when people make comparisons that someone did this and I said something different and I'm being punished and he's not. Life's not fair. Get over it. Get over it. Different contexts for different things. Different people get treated differently because of their pull. It's just the way it fucking is.
can deny rapes, and Hassan this, and Hassan that, and Denims can call me a rapist, and Denims can call me ugly, and Denims can call me an ogre, and nothing will ever happen to the special princesses.
Do you want to know the real?
That's called nepotism. That's called nepotism and favoritism because they're bringing in more money than you are. Sorry, just the way it is.
No reason why. It's because it is happening. And I bet if Denims and Frogan and Hassan showed their dashboards, it would show the same thing.
Exactly. But they're not bitching about it. And they're not comparing themselves with other people.
You know how they say a rising tide floats all boats? Well, so does a sinking one.
Very true. Very true. Right? Glass is half empty or half full. Right? All tide rises all boats, but it also does sink it. That's correct.
It sinks them all. Yep.
Fuck him. Yo, Denims boxed me. Yo, he said it's not down horrendously, but down enough to impact his life. So yeah.
Impact his life. Well, look, if I make $100,000 in 1 month and I start spending that $100,000 irresponsibly, and then all of a sudden the next month I make $10,000, which is a $90,000 increase or a decrease, okay? I can't be like, oh, woe is me of my life. That's the life you chose and that you're spending your money. I mean, spend it how you want, but don't cry about it.
Yesterday,
I'm sorry, but if you're a Twitch streamer and you are in the top 1% of Twitch streamers and a loss in ad revenue will affect your life, you need to have a conversation.
That's right. I already know where he's going with this. You got to invest. This is coming from a person that worked in the film industry where one job, I could make 20 grand, 30 grand in a couple of days, okay? And then I might not have my next job for 6 months. So I got to make sure that money that I get from that one job goes into investments, goes into savings, goes into a retirement, goes into a what I pay for my rent, what I pay for my mortgage. Like, you have to be responsible. Sorry, being an adult, you have to have responsibilities.
With Caleb Hammer. He's a really well-known financial analyst and, a financial, I don't even know if analyst is the right word, financial consultant, financial insight guy. And you need to sit down with him and really go through advisor. I like advisor. That's a great word. He's a financial advisor, and he's going to sit down with you, and it's going to be like, I guarantee
you can't buy $3,000 sushi every weekend when you're not making the money. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to be like, yeah, I spend, $4,000 on rent. I spend $1,000 on my car.
Can you imagine, though, the way Asmongold is right now, right? He's showing his money, and he made $35,000 or whatever, $39,000. He could probably live for that year just off of that money. For the 1 month from that one channel, conservatively, right? I mean, he eats a lot of fast food and whatnot, right? He's got his bills. From that 1 month, he could go and just coast by and put everything else in savings and bonds and different things. People make fun of him, but he sounds like a pretty responsible adult.
I spend $19,000 on gacha games or OnlyFans or drugs. It's like, geez, I don't know where we're going to get the money for this. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to have to sell the car, guys. Yeah, geez. Yeah, $4,000 on Uber Eats. Exactly. Yeah, I don't even know how much. Like, I have no idea. But anyway, Tectone's soon homeless. Yes, guys.
Seriously. You made $14,000 for that month, and you're bitching about, oh, they stole from me. Asmongold lost $17,000 from Turbo. He's like, it is.
We streamed. We only got $100 worth of ads. Oh my god!
Look at that. Tectone's making $100 of ads. So, like, if you extrapolate this, right? Like, let's say
I don't have to bring up my board because it's 0. Zero from Twitch. $0.
I have 50,000
The only money I make from Twitch is when people do the subs or gifted and stuff like that.
average viewers,
I make
right?
zero off ads.
And so he has 5,000, let's say average, and I have 50,000. So you extrapolate that, that's times 10. So I should make $1,000 a day from ads.
Same with YouTube.
What the fuck?
I make
for a
nothing off
5-hour
ads.
stream? Only $100?
And that's only $100.
Bro, earlier I was getting $400 worth of ads.
So think about that. I'd be making $4,000 a day. Remember I told you about that zero.
Yeah, think about the amount of people that he has compared to what he has, right? That's why he added that zero before.
I was talking about that zero. People said, no way. I say, yep.
Wait, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, we'd be making $4,000.
$100
It's a tariff.
for a 5-hour stream, and the same stream was making $450 earlier this month.
It's prorated. I think it's prorated.
Yep.
Consistently.
Yep. What happened?
Fuck you, Hassan! What the fuck is this?
Here's what happened. Do you want to know the real reason why this is going down? Joey Chaotic. Look at Joey as well. And forgot to mention, I'm running.
Here's the thing, though. They're all pointing out the ads, right? They're losing the $68 in ads or the $400 in ads or whatever they is. But look at the paid subs and prime subs and gifted subs and stuff like that.
14 minutes. 14 minutes of ads.
14 minutes ads of in an hour. Jesus Christ. And he made $68. This is why mine's zero.
Averaging 2K viewers. 14 minutes an hour for 10 hours. You make
14 minutes an hour for 10 hours. You made $68. Crazy. I don't make anything, so I can't relate. You know what I mean?
$68. Oh my God.
I do what, 24 hours a week? Maybe 30 sometimes. Between morning shows, gameplay streams, podcasts, I make zero.
Advertisers are leaving.
Where are they going? Advertisers are spending their money somewhere else, though. Where are they going? Are they advertising on Amazon themselves, on Prime? Are they advertising on YouTube? Where are they going? They still have a money pool that they have to spend their advertisement dollars on.
See that? You don't like seeing those, do you? Those are not good. Why did you start the Adpocalypse 2.0? I did it to set everybody free. They may not thank me now. They may be angry at me for what I've done.
Alter, you're right. I don't put ads. But after the fact of the ads that get shown on my videos, nobody really watches my videos after the fact anyway. That's why we're a live channel, not really a upload channel. The uploads I get, they put the ads in there. There's preloaded ads, and then there's ads that they put throughout the thing. If I showed you one of my ads, how many ads they put into a video of mine, I don't get paid dilly squat. And they put, sometimes before I edit it, they put 75 ad breaks for one podcast for 2 hours.
Because obviously
75. Like a show right now, for me doing this morning show, they put 75 plus ad breaks throughout the entire stream after the fact.
this is
I got to go back and edit because no one's going to watch that. Nobody's going to sit there and watch that many fucking ads. 3 minute break or 30 seconds of ads every 3 minutes. Get the fuck out of here.
completely my fault. Why did I do it? A lot of people have been complaining that ads on the website have been problematic. And somebody had to do something.
Oh, did he start this? Did he start the adpocalypse because he brought it up? Now everybody else is bringing it up?
So, you know what? I'm not even going to make that joke. I was gonna make a Holocaust joke. We're not even gonna do it. You know what?
What?
Because I don't need to. It's already happened. I don't need to do it again. I don't need to do another one. So yeah, no, yeah, come on, haha. See, yeah. Now I'm a good boy now.
Vacation. Someone said vacation.
Because I've already won. I've already won.
I like to see
and
Pokemon
back
or
to
Valkyrie
McDonald's
stats.
brothers, yes. And so
I guarantee you, they don't make that much from ads, but they make a shit ton off of gifted and you know all the other stuff.
that's sensible move. Yeah, pussy. Well, no, I've already won. And also, by the way, the reason why this is happening, this is completely Twitch's fault. Twitch has done this. It's not my fault at all. I did not even cause 1% of this. This is totally Twitch's fault because their ad delivery service is garbage, and they don't ban people, and they play their ads next to content that's not suitable for advertisement.
Just blame the tariffs?
That's it. It actually has nothing to do with me. Like, I can meme about it all I want, but, like, that's the honest truth, is that it's really not about me and had nothing to do with me. So, yeah, that's about it. Dan can't stream too. Yeah, and him, and by the way, I want to say that if you look at all these people talking about it, advertising is dying on YouTube. Or sorry, on Twitch. It's done, bro. It is done. Advertisers are leaving in mass.
So then what do they do? What does Twitch do if the advertisers leave? The advertisers are going to YouTube. But what's Twitch going to do? They got to figure another way to monetize what they already have. They already have Twitch Prime. Okay? Then they have what? Twitch Turbo. What else are they going to make?
And YouTube? No, they're not leaving on YouTube at all. YouTube is just fine. So I did literally nothing of this. I didn't cause this to happen. And if I did, I'm not sorry. I'll say that too, I'm not sorry. The advertising system on Twitch was garbage. It was cannibalistic to the website. And everybody will be better off whenever they seek their own partnerships and sponsorships themselves, rather than relying on, unstable blue chip brands to keep them on life support. And so, yes, that's it. And I didn't do it, but I wish I did.
I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. The amount of just vanished. $17,000 just from him vanished. So I wonder if other people, if $1,000 vanished, or $100 vanished, $2,000 vanished, right? What is Twitch doing with that money? They're just stealing it straight up. They just steal it, and instead of paying the content creators making content where they should get paid that money, and Twitch is what, taking that money and putting it in because they're putting it in the savings because they know the ads are low. Like, something has to happen there. Someone should look into that. I mean, I'm not saying it's guaranteed each month, but if it's not going to him, it's got to be going to somewhere else. It's got to add up. If there's 1 million people paying for Twitch Turbo, then you have this amount allowed money that's being distributed across the platform to all these other content creators. And if it's not going to him, it's got to add up. It's got to add up to the same amount of money that's being put in every single month from that. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's just small potatoes here. Let's say it's $1 million of Twitch Turbo. So $1 million. This is after Twitch takes their cut, right? This is after it takes their cut. They have $1 million that gets distributed across the people that get Twitch Turbo. Well, it's $1 million every month that gets distributed across the platform. Someone might use it on him. Someone might use it on me. Someone might use it on something else. It's still $1 million. Where is that going? Right? They already took their cut. Now this is the cut that goes to the content creators. Where is that? Krebsy says last resort would be Twitch implements new rules, making the site more family friendly. Turbo money is always nifty, no? Or nifty, no? Someone read the EULA. My thing is, though, Titan, if it doesn't go to me this month and it goes to somebody else, and it's nothing that you can, like, depend on every single month, that pool of money is still going to the same people. Like, it's still getting distributed. It's just getting distributed to different people. You're talking about iffy. Doge investigation Twitch. You see what I'm saying? If $1 million is allocated after they take their cut for the Twitch Turbo, and let's say Asmongold got 95% of the Twitch Turbo subs that month, and then all of a sudden now those Turbo things went somewhere else, it's still there. Now, obviously, it might be there. He's just sharing his numbers, and all of a sudden, $17,900 and whatever dollars just went missing. So it went to someone else. I don't know. That's just kind of weird. That's crazy, though. That is crazy, though. You know what's funny? If you go to, like, what is it? Social Blade, I think it's called. Yeah, Social Blade. And I type in Asmongold TV. Okay. This is crazy, right? Now, obviously, these are not exact numbers because I can bring up mine. It's nowhere near what they say. So this is a lowball figure. This is just off his thing estimation, monthly estimate. He's making $28K to $455,000 estimated earns. He's making $373K to $6 million yearly estimated earnings. What he gets in views per day, I will never see in the lifetime of my channel. And I never say never. I will never, ever see. I think I just crossed 750,000 views or something like that. Here, let me see. Yeah, total views. Do they have the total views? Rank views. Yeah, I just passed 618,000 total. Look what he's got. 3.8 billion. 3.8 billion views. That's insane. I mean, obviously, I'm comparing myself to one of the, if not the largest. I mean, Mr. Beast. Let's see what he's got. Subscriber ranked as number 1. Holy Christ. Holy Christ. Mr. Beast, look at the amount of views he has on this channel. First of all, Asmongold, 3.65 million subscribers, and you see how much money he's making? Mr. Beast, 397 million. Asmongold, 3.8 billion. Mr. Beast, 83 billion. 83 billion with 872 videos. Holy shit. And this is low estimate. This is a low estimate. What he makes monthly. Super low estimate. Yeah, Asmongold is ranked, U.S. ranking 791st. Right? I'm ranked. Hold on. Why won't it? Social Blade. Hey, I'm ranked in the U.S. It's not bad. I have to say. Not bad. I don't know what the ranking is. It says the spot is shared with 0 other creators and 0 creator. Okay, whatever. 3,601st. That's pretty good. U.S. ranking. That's not bad. There's millions and millions and millions of people streaming. He just became a billionaire, right? Did he, Mr. Beast? Like, he himself became a billionaire? He's probably one of the youngest billionaires then, I would assume, right? It says here, In 2023, Time named him one of the world's 100 most influential people. He's ranked first on the Forbes list for the highest paid YouTuber creator. He has an estimated net worth of $1 billion. Estimated, yeah. Gaming, Krebsy says, Asmongold is the 8th most searched term on YouTube this year. Mr. Beast is 3rd. Jesus. Let me tell you, Altern. It's one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my entire life, and I've done some difficult things. To build this channel to what it is today, and I don't look at this as any kind of. I used to stream to 0 people for the longest time. Now, on average, we get about 41 to 43 people on average watch live. Right now, there's 21. I took a break, and right, but we usually get around 35, 41. Okay, that's phenomenal. Every time I go live, it's like walking into a small breakout room, and having a conversation with 30 to 40 people. It's like a classroom. I think it's cool. Like, I'm not doing this to become super wealthy. Believe me, I could stop doing this and go do something to become super wealthy. I like doing this because I like doing this. I like it. I like entertaining. I like having a conversation. I like doing stuff like this. That's crazy. OnlyFans? No. Look, I know I have a disadvantage. I'm a over 40, late 40s, white man. I'm not sexy. I'm not hot. I'm hot, like sweating factor, okay? But I have disadvantages left and right. I bring nothing to the table with my looks here, okay? I don't have the advantages of a girl where she's like, oopsie, right? I bring nothing to that. So... you never know what kind of fetishes people have. Oh, no, I get it. Robert Joe says AI. I don't want to do AI. I'll incorporate AI, but I won't replace myself as AI. I could have been a faceless channel years ago, right? You would cater to the fatherless girls. I would just feel dirty. Yeah, no. Yeah, daddy issues? No, I'm good. I don't want that shit. Right, Krebsy? Right? That's amazing how many people do that. It's always good to fake that. Fucking stupid. Well, that's crazy. All right, if you're gonna watch this after the fact, I'll break out the I'll cut out the 20-minute gap of me missing. We'll be back tonight for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode, was it 441? I think it's 441. Is it 4? Yeah, it's 441. We didn't have one last week, so we were off for a week. We'll be back this week. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate you very much. Like I said, we'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you go check out some of our other channels, 30 and Still Gaming, which is video game play. We got 30 and Still Jamming, where you can listen to the music that we've created with the AI Suno, and me writing the music. I'm a musician, a composer. Go watch that. And then we have Nerding with 30 when we do entertainment news. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, afternoon, or evening, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. We're nitty, tune in daily, don't you miss. Entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Controller ready, headset 2, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Controller ready, headset 2, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Lots of news on Winning Blend, the show with you, our dearest friend. Comments rolling, chats alive, the daily grind, 5-star vibe. Tune in daily, don't you miss. Entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Good morning, sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time with gaming news and fun below. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. Tune in daily, don't you miss. Entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Come on in, your morning